Assalamu alaikum, guys. Welcome to Freshly Grounded episode 46. 46?
46.
Your boy Big Man Sam is here. Your boy Big Faze is here. 6'6", 5'7". Who's counting? They're just numbers. This episode of the podcast is brought to you by 59. That's 50_NINE on the old Instagram. 59 coffee, juice, snacks. You got your healthy foods there. You got your salads. It's a 59 is a wellness, or cafe and wellness.
Yeah.
Centre.
No, cafe.
Centre sounds awful. Cafe in St Albans, Stanhope Road. Honestly, guys, great coffee. Great snacks, great food. They got healthy options. If you're fancying a bit of a sweet tooth, you got your sweet tooth options there. It's a lot of cafes that you go into. Side note, a lot of cafes that you go into, their facilities are not that clean. They got clean toilets in this cafe, so there you go. If you fancy having a coffee, then you should do the dance. They have a clean toilet. There we go. I'm just speaking facts, Sam. I'm sorry.
Fine.
Listen, you head over to 59, yeah? You quote Freshly Grounded when you make your order. You get £1 off anything and everything. You get £1 off, as in your entire cart. So you go over there, grab yourself some food, grab yourself a coffee, grab yourself a juice, get £1 off. Khalas. There it is. Enjoy. Also brought to you by Izaha.com, IZAHA.com, the most fire Arabic caps in the game. Izaha.com. Arabic style caps, hats, t-shirts, jumpers. Head over to Izaha.com, IZAHA.com, and type in Freshly Grounded in your cart. You get 20% off, which is a very generous.
Very generous.
Very, very generous. Also, guys, brought to you by Flavor, FLAVR, Flavor.co, your one-stop shop for branding, marketing, social media marketing, content creation, iPhone apps, branding, and the whole Flavor team is like in the studio right now, just staring at us.
They want the studio, don't they?
I don't know.
Yeah. I'm intimidated.
Yeah, same. Head over to flavor.co, flavr.co. And guys, listen, if you want to support the podcast, you want to help us out, if you think the podcast benefits you or can benefit others, support us, man. Head over to patreon.com/freshly grounded. That's patreon.com/freshly grounded. For as little as around £5 a month, you can support the podcast, man, and help us out. You also get a lot of benefits. You get extra content. You get an episode one day earlier than everybody else. You also can get the podcast episode without the sponsorships. And lastly but not least, if you wish to sponsor the podcast, as in you have a business or you have a campaign that you're running and you want to be shouted out, you want your product on our table, head over to send us an email at hello@freshlygrounded.com. How's that, Sam?
Good.
Yeah, you like that?
Yes, very good.
Solid intro, Daya.
Very good.
Yeah.
Short and sweet.
All right. Well, with no further ado,
let's get into it. Episode 46.
Episode 46. Boom.
And welcome to Freshly Grounded, the brand new podcast by best friends Faisal and Sam.
Huh?
I said welcome to Freshly Grounded,
After that bit.
the brand new podcast
And after that bit?
by best friends Faisal and Sam.
Really?
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Guys, we are back on this episode 46. Hello, Sam.
Hello, mate. Assalamu alaikum.
How are you doing?
Alhamdulillah, very well. And yourself?
Oh, man. I'm gassed to be back.
Good to see you.
Good to see you, man. And I was just saying off mic, I know you won't mind me saying, but you are in the best physical shape I've ever seen you in. Allahumma barik.
Likewise.
No, I'm not.
Are you not?
No, I've been eating biscuits all week.
You look strong, man.
No, I'm fat.
No, you look strong.
Fat can be misguided as strong.
You look good.
Oh,
Good,
man.
inshallah.
How you been, man?
Yeah, excellent, thank you. Alhamdulillah. Can't complain. Feel
So
great.
we've been off.
Huh?
We've been off.
We've been off.
We didn't record an episode last
I know.
week.
You can really tell as well, innit?
I know, man.
Yeah. Get complaints in the inbox and that saying, where's Freshly Grounded?
Yeah, there's a reason though. There's a good reason, because normally we did say that, like, if one of us were away, we would still always try and get an episode out every week. We kind of made that oath, didn't we?
Of course.
But unfortunately, the loophole in the system was, what do we do if we're both away? And that's what
happened, and we weren't covered.
Yeah, we weren't covered. Unfortunately, there's only one Faisal and only one Sam. So when both Faisal and Sam are not here,
It's impossible.
It's pretty much impossible to do an episode that is intro with best friends Faisal and Sam.
Yeah, what would you do?
I don't know. Imagine it's like, welcome to Freshly Grounded, best friends Faisal and Sam, and then like the camera comes, it's just two random people
talking.
I just don't feel like it would work.
No, I don't think it would work.
Yeah. So unfortunately, last week there was no episode. Why don't you let us know where you were, Sam?
Last week, I was away just for a few days in the woods.
I know, I saw, and your Instagram stories looked amazing.
Yeah, really nice, man. Alhamdulillah, I had a really, really nice. Do you know what? I haven't actually taken time out with my family since I went to Morocco. Remember I went to Morocco a while ago? I did that accent because remember you did that Moroccan accent that time. Morocco.
Yeah, I do remember that, Morocco.
Yeah. I haven't been away since then. So I was really appreciative of those few days off in the woods. I stayed in England and went to the woods and had like an activities week on bikes. And
was there other families there?
Yes.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yes. So it looks like I had like a log cabin.
What made you come up with? You just don't strike me as a person who would come up with such a good idea.
I used to go to
whose idea was it?
Mine.
Really?
Yeah.
Or just spend quality time with your family. That's amazing.
Yeah,
I'm really proud of you, bro.
Yeah, no, it was great. And do you know what? My Zayden loved it, man. I
bet he did.
He was in a trance as soon as we got in there because it's beautiful. It's actually not too far from where I am. It's like 45 minutes down the road from where I am, but it felt like I was in another country, to be honest.
Do you have to have a kid to go? You do it?
No, you don't.
No, but
no, you get more out of it. But at the same time, because of Zayden's age, there's a lot of things that he couldn't do. So it was more like just enjoying like the surroundings.
Could I take my wife?
Yes, you could.
And it would be not weird.
I don't know if you'd get the full enjoyment out of it. Okay. It's definitely not for kids, but there's a lot of activities there for kids. But because of Zayden's age, like he could enjoy some things, but most of it is for like, he was too young to do most of it. But it was more just having like getaway. There's like amazing there's water rapids, outdoor water rapids, and like massive slides, and loads of like wicked like nice like swimming things to do there. There's like There's amazing, one of the nicest spas in England there. I didn't use it, but there's a very nice spa there, so you and your wife could maybe go and have some nice spa time.
I think we both discussed in a previous episode that me and you both dislike spas.
Of course, but your wife could maybe go and enjoy the spa. They've got really good reputation there.
Okay.
They have like, do you know what Go Ape is? You know when they have all that there.
Oh really?
Amazing walks.
She loves that, bro. Mummy says he's a proper outdoorsy person.
That's it. You should go there.
100%, but I might surprise her with that.
You really should.
She doesn't listen to Freshly Grounded,
of course she doesn't.
Hey, wife, I'm taking you there.
You should. It'd be really good. I'd recommend it, man.
Really?
Like, highly recommend it.
Bro, so talk me through it slowly because it sounds so amazing. I was watching the story.
Should I drop the name of what it's called and stuff?
Yeah.
Centre Parks. Have you heard of Centre Parks?
Oh, I have heard of Centre Parks.
Yeah, so I went to Centre Parks. So I went to the newest one, which is in Woburn Forest, which is from where I am. I'm in St Albans, and it's like if you were to get the train, it's like almost at the end of the line, the train line I'm on. So it was like a 30-minute, 45-minute drive down the road, and you drive into an entrance. And then it's all just, you park up in a car park and then you have to get around on a bike and it's just like cabins.
Like cycle?
Yeah, cycle. So
and what about did you like, it was pre-booked and stuff or you just turned up and then booked?
No, pre-booked.
Okay.
You have to pre-book. It gets sold. This place is at 95% booked up all year round.
Where was it you said?
Woburn Forest.
So you're living in a forest for how long?
You can either choose to get there on a Monday and leave on Friday, or go there on a Friday and leave on Tuesday.
You did the Monday to Friday.
I did the Monday to Friday, yeah.
And was that not too much? Too long?
Certainly not. I could have stayed there for longer, bruv. Wow. A really beautiful lodge.
And where did you sleep?
In a lodge, in my own cabin.
Really?
My own lodge. But no, don't get me wrong. It's not
like a little house.
Yeah, but really incredible, beautiful house. Really amazing. I actually would have loved that being my house. It was amazing, bruv.
So how did you have Wi-Fi? They have Wi-Fi there?
Yeah, everything there.
Yeah,
so there's Wi-Fi everywhere you go. There's Wi-Fi there's Wi-Fi if you're out on the sticks. There's Wi-Fi. They have loads of walks, places you can ride.
I can't believe lakes. That is such a good idea. I'm so taken there.
So I used to get taken there as a kid, and to be honest,
I've never been.
It was like one of the most fond memories I've got is when I was a kid when my parents used to take us to Centre Parks because it's just like, do you know what it is? The highlight is the outdoor water rapids. Yeah, so you've got these amazing swimming pools and stuff, but you can actually go out. You go outside. And then there's like massive rapids, so you're going around like rapids. You've been on rapids before?
But yeah, it sounds.
But
sick.
You're outside, so you're doing it at night time. It's all lit up, and it's all the water's warm.
And you're in a forest.
Yeah, and it was like -1 out on the rapids, bruv. But I was unfortunately I was doing my ones to be honest because
really,
yeah.
Maybe it sounds like a nice thing to do with like couples as like a family.
Definitely,
maybe
like. It's nice. Obviously, we had Zayden, so we. But then again, there's most of the things set up for kids older than him.
Okay.
There's so much. If you've got kids, it's amazing. If you're just like, there's loads of couples there just doing their thing, and you can have a really good time anyway. I'd definitely like to go back with more than just the three of us because it's kind of the place like you can get like these. They're actually building them now, treehouse lodges. So you're actually up in the trees. And you've got, like, a hot tub and stuff up in the trees and stuff.
Wow.
Yeah. It's really
that
nice,
sounds
man.
so cool,
Alhamdulillah,
man.
I highly recommend it.
Was it like scheduled? Like you have to wake up this time and do this, or you like you just do whatever you want?
You can pre-book things, but obviously because of we were limited. We were limited because he couldn't, like, obviously he's under 2 and stuff. So the one thing he could do when we went to book it, he was actually booked up, and that was to hit little kids football. But like you don't with swimming and tennis and squash and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, you just book it and book it. But it's easy. They've got it's all set up for basic activities. The gym wasn't good. The gym was tiny.
Really?
Yeah, I thought, considering it's an activity-based place, I thought the gym would be better, but it was a very small gym. But
What kind of equipment did they have in the gym?
it's a basic stuff like cables and running
Oh,
machines.
so it's an actual gym. It wasn't like an outdoorsy like.
Nah, indoor
wooden
gym and indoor gym. But I thought that was the one letdown. I thought they'd be like because it's such a like an activity-driven place. I thought it would be like accommodate that, but they have like loads of restaurants on site and
Really?
yeah.
It's just a proper thing. This sounds
Proper,
sick.
yeah.
Everyone's probably listening to this thinking, Faisal, you don't
Do you know, it's surprisingly, some people like, know it very well, and some people have never heard of it before. But
I have heard
of
the
like
name.
Butlins and Pontins.
Oh,
and stuff
yeah,
like that.
yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like
When I was a kid, I went to Butlins.
yeah.
Worst, like,
I've
time.
not been to one before, but it's like although it's similar kind of.
I'm not that guy. You know me.
Yeah.
I'm
I
like
don't know what they
indoor
are.
still.
I don't really know what they're like, but it's a holiday park, isn't it? You go in and you're staying
Anything that
somewhere.
involves me not being at home, I'm not that guy.
You would definitely like centre parks.
Yeah, I think so.
You would.
I'm gonna book that.
The nicest thing is you're sitting like in the lodge in the daytime or in whatever. You look out and all you can see is woods. Alhamdulillah, our lodge we had was like on the top of a hill, which was a pain. It was a pain to get back to in the evening when because you're riding a bike and Zayden was on my back, so it was obviously difficult going uphill. But there was no one else around, and all you could see was like just woods. So it was nice, man. Proper getaway.
So they obviously give you bikes when you get there.
Yeah,
Mountain
you don't
bikes.
have to get bikes, but we got bikes.
Oh, what's your other option? Walk.
Yeah,
Oh,
but that's
no.
long. It's a waste of time.
Whereabouts in the UK was this?
I went to the Woburn Forest one, so near like Bedford and Flitwick.
Ah,
So my ends is like a little bit further on.
okay.
But then there's loads. There's Longley. There's loads. There's like 5 or 6 different areas.
Oh,
But ours
Longley Safari Park and
yeah. That's it. Right next to the centre parks. Right next to there.
Ah, I
and
see,
then,
I
yeah,
see.
I think they might have some in America as well.
yeah. I'm not sure.
I
I know
think
they've
I've
got
heard-
some in. Someone was saying the Netherlands. They've got centre parks.
Oh, really?
So also, it's obviously a brand, but the one we went to was the newest one, and it was great, man. I
State
highly
of the art.
recommend it. Yeah, really
What?
nice lodge, man. You'd love the lodge. Really modern.
I feel like I like
Really
the lodge.
modern. Really modern.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How would it be for like a photographer? Like, would you say there's like a good photo opportunity?
Definitely lots of good photo opportunity, yeah. Yeah, just like, and there's loads of nature walks and like off-road like walks. There's loads of stuff. You can get some beautiful pictures, to be
A lot
fair.
of staff.
Yeah, do you know what it is? The beautiful thing is, like I said, during the year, it's 95% booked up, yeah? But you can't tell, like, because it's so vast.
Oh, that's nice.
There's like, I can't remember the exact, I think 4,000, on average 4,000 guests or something at a time.
Wow.
But you can't tell. You can't tell. It's so big and spread out. You can't tell, and because there's so many different things going on. It's like in the swimming pool in the daytime, it was a fitner. I allowed it because it was just too busy and not nice. But in the evening, just really like was quiet. And there's like a big like the main pool, which is, let me paint you a picture. It's like a main swimming pool, but it's all like rocks around it and like waterfalls. And then every half an hour, it turns into a wave machine.
No way.
So like red light flashes and it turns into the whole thing. This is a big massive wave machine. So obviously all the kids move out of the way and. So there's that, and then there's like a river. You get a rubber ring, and you can just float around this beautiful river. And then around the river, there's like waterfalls and stuff like that. And then there's outdoor rapids. There's big slides. There's loads of stuff, man.
That sounds like a proper week, man.
Yeah, I recommend it to people, especially families. But I recommend it to anyone anyway. But that's where I was, bruv, last week. So sorry I couldn't do freshly grounded. I was in the woods. And yourself?
That sounds like an amazing place to do, especially kind of.
It really would, bruv.
Isn't it?
We've got other places to do freshly grounded first. So
Yeah, that's true. Listen, bro, your week sounded amazing.
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah, Barak, and definitely much more amazing than my week. Do you know where I spent my week, Sam? You do know.
Yes.
I
Tell me more.
spent my week in the back of a shop.
In the back of a shop?
In the back of a shop,
I
just
thought
sat
you were
there
in front of the
10
house.
No.
So talk to me about your week.
So my dad has a shop which is like it's like, I always say that it's like Claire's accessories for
Jewelry shop.
it's not, because it's not real jewelry. That's why I say it's not a jewelry shop. Give me a sec. Oh. It's like Claire's accessories, but for Asian people. Yeah, so it's like not fake. Yeah, it's like fake jewelry, like artificial jewelry, that kind of stuff. So it's a big shop. And he has people who work there and stuff, but someone has to manage it, right? In a sense, like just supervise, I suppose. I'm not really sure. And so my dad was going away to India for a week to get stock, and so his only option was for me to look after the shop.
Does he always go and get it?
No, he's never been to India in his life.
How come he went? Just
I was skeptical.
saw an opportunity.
I don't know. I don't know much. I tried to ask my dad too many questions because I suppose just ask no questions.
He no lies. I'm sure he wouldn't lie to you.
Well, no, he wouldn't lie to me, but I just, I don't want to bother him with that. So
Fine.
I was like, yeah, calm, do your thing. And I'd like to say that I was like that. I probably complained a lot more than I'm gonna explain in this like thing. But anyway, so basically, I've spent like almost the last 10 days away from the office. I haven't been to the office once, and I've just been every day. I've been opening the shop at 10 a.m. I've been closing it at 8 p.m. Opening shutters, closing shutters, sitting, and because there's people who work there, alhamdulillah, I didn't have to necessarily work because I can't imagine myself trying to sell that stuff because do you know what I mean, bruv? Like, I don't know about all this kind of stuff, and I don't really want to be like chatting to sisters, telling them what jewelry will look good on them and that. So, alhamdulillah, it was just like a sit in the back, which is a blessing because that's what I would have preferred. But it was very mind numbing. Like, about 10 hours, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. You can imagine, man was just eating biscuits all the time.
Really?
Yeah, I ate a lot of biscuits, bruv. I didn't go gym. My intention was to go to the gym in the mornings, but
Didn't happen.
It didn't happen. So no gym, loads of rubbish food, and just alhamdulillah. But the thing is, I kept telling myself, like, it's for the sake of Allah. Like, you're helping your dad out.
Yeah, of course.
And that's it. But with that being said, bro, that sounds like I handled it really well, but I probably did complain a lot more than I said. Like, probably my wife probably had to hear a lot of me just be like, oh, like, you know what I mean? Like,
What were you actually doing day to day? Did you have things to do when you were there?
No, not like for the shop.
Yeah.
No, like I had to bank money and stuff.
But you didn't have like throughout the day. You didn't have to do
no,
this. Didn't have to do that.
No.
So
Which I'm happy with. Which I would prefer.
Yeah,
So I got to do my own stuff. I did a lot of my own. I did
yeah.
I some of my own work, but it's very hard, bro. In that place to do, like, you're not in an environment where you could just like knock out work, bro. Like, I don't. Let me try and paint you a picture now. I'm in the back of a shop that's in, and it's like, you know, it's not like there's a desk there, and you know, it's not very modern. It's like the back of a shop. I don't know how to really explain it. Imagine
I haven't got a very nice image at the minute.
right, and that's probably quite a decent image that you got in your head. Now that's what I was dealing with for 10 hours. No sunlight. But I was stepping out a lot, and alhamdulillah, there was a lot of blessings in it, however. Because one thing I was worried about is that, you know, when they say that when you are alone, it's like you and the shaitan. It's much easier to commit sin, etc., etc. And I was worried that it would, like, my iman would go down because I wouldn't be around the brothers and this, that, the other. Alhamdulillah, because the one good thing is that his shop was opposite a mosque, and so pretty much all of my salah was in the mosque.
Alhamdulillah.
And yeah, it wasn't that bad, bro. It was just trying to kill time.
Wasn't overly motivating for you.
No. But alhamdulillah, like, do you know what I mean? It is what it is. It's done now.
What did you for that week?
I mean, today's my first day back.
So 2 weeks were you there?
No, like almost 10 days.
Wow.
Yeah. So today's my first day back.
Nice to be back here.
Yeah, man. But your story sounded better. Your week.
No, it's good to hear your story.
But yeah, that was it, man. Like, that was literally what I was doing. But there was a lot that came up. There's a lot that because I had a lot of thinking time. Yeah. But what I realized is that too much thinking time is not good, because it goes to overthinking, and it's not good. I think thinking time is good, but thinking time is good when, like, you need thinking time. It's like, oh, like, I haven't had my own time in a while. Let me just go away. I go for a nice walk, have a nice think. You know, like half an hour a day, or maybe like once a week you go do your own thing, or maybe like even, you know, if you go to the gym every day by yourself, you get time. But 10 hours of thinking time every day, not beneficial, bro. Not good. Nah, definitely not. Don't try it. Don't test my theory. It's not good.
What did you come up with?
Just I don't know, like, it's not mad beneficial, bro. Is all I'm trying to get. It's not very productive. We're not very productive. Do you know what I mean?
I feel like that. There's a lot of times when I've been on holiday, say, and it's one of those holidays when you're just kind of sitting around not doing much. At first, it's like, I'll come up with some really good ideas and feel kind of quite inspired. And then it gets to the point where it's like, don't feel, actually almost turns into a negative, like overthink everything, and it's not productive at all, and it kind of goes the opposite way. It needs to be like everything needs a balance.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The one good thing that did come out of it, other than the praying the salah, is that I pretty much in my head have like planned and executed the entire In-Light Conference 2018.
Oh,
But
sick.
I haven't put any of it on pen and paper, and I wanted to, but I just haven't managed to. And it's because, again, like the environment is not a motivating environment you can get work done. But I made a couple of phone calls, made a few things, and let me say, if I can pull it off, inshallah, this year's In-Light Conference is going to be sick.
Really?
Yeah.
Inshallah.
Inshallah. Big.
Am I invited?
You're going to be on the panel, inshallah, as long as you
Inshallah.
accept the invitation.
Of course, inshallah.
And so yeah, man, last year In-Light Conference was so good, but there was a lot of mistakes made because it's the first time, and so I think I've like fixed all of the mistakes I made last time. Inshallah, this time it'll be better. And one of the mistakes I think that I had made, well, we done it in such a short time period, so I want to start planning it from now, and I also want to do it before Ramadan, not in Ramadan.
Yeah, it's
Because
during Ramadan, wasn't it?
During Ramadan bro, that amount of stress when you're not eating or drinking,
of course. Yeah,
and
not
then for the
comfortable,
audience to stay patient
Yeah.
and like concentrated for like 3 hours without food or water, it's just too much. And so I'm gonna do it just before Ramadan, so like we're getting into the Ramadan spirit.
Yeah.
So yeah,
That's good. Good
Inshallah.
idea. Inshallah. Would
Yeah,
you
man.
use the same venue or?
no, I want to go bigger and better, man. But there's a few things. It's very unplanned right now. As in, no, the plan's all in my head, but none of it's been executed. Yeah. So
You've not written any of it down?
no, but I've spoken it all out to somebody on the phone.
Voice note.
No,
Oh.
I just
Who?
talked to Kareem, because Kareem helped me write it last
Of
year.
course,
So
yeah.
inshallah,
He's gonna get involved this year.
inshallah, he's gonna help me again this year. Him and Only,
Yes.
and so it'll be like a nice thing for us guys to kind of do together.
Excellent.
So that basically happened. Now, speaking of shops, yeah, I wanted to bring something up that happened this morning. I went to the shop this morning to like get something. I had to grab something, like something emergency this morning. So I went out of my house in like it's like the awfulest weather. I'm in my sliders and a pair of shorts, as you do. And
This
a coat.
morning?
Yeah. 7 a.m. I had to box to shop get something, and then the shopkeeper, it's my local corner shop, innit? That's not on the corner.
Right.
So he knows me in that, and then he's like, oh, he obviously could see that I have a beard. He's a Muslim as well, so he could obviously see. He obviously knows that I'm Muslim, and he said to me, he was like, oh, not a great start to the morning then, because obviously I'm out in my shorts and my slippers at 7 a.m. picking something up that I don't really could do without like doing. Do you know what I mean? I'm trying to get ready for work.
Can you say what it is, or is it private?
Just a couple bits, you know,
Fine.
bit of this, bit of that.
At 7 in the morning.
Your mind's
yeah.
probably running wild.
Yeah, it is,
Yeah, I
huh?
just needed to grab something. I don't know, from the shop, like a convenience store.
Coffee?
Could have been out of milk, anything.
Was it milk?
It wasn't milk.
Butter.
No, I'm not going to tell you what
Sugar.
it is. It's not anything embarrassing. I'm just like, it's just a thing that I had to grab. It's like,
But
it's just so irrelevant from the story.
urgency to leave the house at that time
Yeah.
to go to the shop. There must
Well,
have
you
been
know how strict I am in my morning routine. Sam.
true. Okay.
No, not no. I mean, nothing to do with nothing to do with that. But I mean, like, as in, I don't like it. I'm such a like person of habit. I hate my routine getting messed up. So if even if it was something like milk, I would go out of the house to get it just to make sure that my morning routine still stays. Regardless, your boy doesn't really drink milk, yeah. So,
Well, milk's in here.
coffee, mate. Coffee, mate.
I have to say that's the worst coffee I've ever had. I'm joking. I'm joking.
Is it bad?
No, not at all. But is that what's coffee, mate? I've never had coffee, mate.
It's like powdered milk.
Powdered milk. I'll have that instead of dairy. Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Tastes
just a quick
different,
instant thing.
mate.
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
good.
yeah.
It's good. Alhamdulillah, I'm joking. It's nice. Very nice. Sorry, carry on, bro.
Okay, so I
Bro,
go to the
when I
shop.
was sorry to interrupt you. When I was away, yeah, I couldn't have any nice coffee. It was horrible.
Really?
Yeah, so when I came back, I way overdid it.
Yeah,
had
'cause
no-
you're your third coffee today.
Yeah,
You're not going to get anxious.
Nah, not anxious. Nah. On the first day back, I had 8 in a row.
Are you serious?
Yeah, yeah.
But I had a lot of coffee when I was at
Ollie and Johnny returned to me like, just stop. I
Stop.
wasn't trying to show off or anything. I had a really poor night's sleep. And
Hey, look at this, lads.
yeah, not at all. But they were like, you should stop that now. I was like, nah, just grab me one more little. And I was having like generally espresso, so it wasn't milk or anything like that. But afterwards, I remember Ollie came up to me and like spoke to me. I said, just give me a minute. He's like, what's wrong with you? I said, just give me a minute. And I couldn't even put. Anyway, sorry, carry on with your story, bro.
We'll go to coffee in a second because I have a
Yeah.
coffee story. Anyway,
So you're in the shop getting some butter.
by the way, when I was working at the shop, yeah, I was backing. One day I had like 5 coffees.
What type of coffee is instant?
Yeah, I had instants the whole time.
So what I've found and what Boaziz actually has added to this is that I can't find satisfaction in a coffee unless it's an espresso based coffee.
Nor can I anymore, bro.
You can't. This doesn't do it. Like
No,
this,
no,
you
I
can't have
feel
that in the
like
morning and
bro.
feel like it's done the job.
Honestly, bro, the reason I'm having it is just for the caffeine right now.
Yeah.
It's just, I'm as I'm drinking, I'm like, do you know what I mean? Because
Okay, yes, it tastes like coffee and it's nice, but really, when you have a coffee, you need to have
Yeah.
that bang.
Bav, espresso based coffee all day, every day.
Yeah. So all week I was chasing.
Sign Faisal Chowdhury, Big Daddy Faze.
Yeah, yeah. I was coffee chasing. Went through so much coffee, but all instants I couldn't get it. Yeah, well, anyway, what we say was your story. You're in the shop.
I was speaking off topic again. I was speaking to my wife the other day. Anyway, listen. I said to her, listen. I've had a lot of time to overthink. I've been daydreaming today about our new house. Yeah, and I said there's one thing that I want to get when we get our new place, and that is I want to get big boy coffee machine, and I've seen it. I want it. She goes, how much? I said $2,000.
Really? Have you actually seen something?
I can't remember, yeah, but not at that time. I'd seen it before, ages ago.
What was it? Like a proper coffee machine?
Yeah, man, like the 59 thing.
Yeah. Big thing. You want to get that for your yard?
Because I just want to, I said I said it first of all, imagine every morning I can make myself a nice espresso coffee, yeah? And I said I would only get I would literally come to you, I'm like, Sam, I'm not trying to make not trying to, make any money off you and your brand or anything, but I need your coffee beans because I love the 59 coffee. So I would privately I would like to legally and not steal your coffee beans. So hope inshallah you would give me some coffee beans, and I would make you that coffee at my house. And because now I've got do you know what triggered this thought? Because I got coconut milk the other day. Tried to make myself coconut milk latte, bought myself in my house by putting the coconut milk in a pan. Yeah. It was horrible. Yeah. So you have to steam it and do it properly
for sure.
and have espresso coffee. And so anyway, I said to her that I would love that. And when guests come around, would you have coffee? And then make myself a little.
Well, good news. You don't have to spend $2,000 to get a proper nice coffee machine.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
I can guide you there, but you don't have to. You don't have to have. The big thing that has to be plumbed in and everything. You don't have to have that for your yard.
I can imagine.
I can guide you in that way. You can spend a lot less. It's a good idea though. Very good idea.
Well,
I actually said to you, remember specifically, I actually said to you, when you get your yard, I'll get you a coffee machine.
No, you said you give me espresso. You said you give me Nespresso. You didn't say you give me real big boy thing.
I'm not going to get you a big boy thing. I'll get you a machine where you'll be able to have a nice cup of coffee. I actually saw. Did I show you it the other day? The granite one.
No, you haven't. But I look forward to that. Jazakallah khair. And I also said to you that when I get a new place, inshallah, that you're going to be one of the first people I call over.
Inshallah, I'm waiting.
So my make dua for people. Listen, Sam.
Yes.
So I went to the shop to grab some necessities this morning. Yeah.
Yeah.
The shopkeeper goes to me. I said to the shopkeeper, he goes, not a great start to me. I said, yeah, I know. On top of that, I said, it's my first day back to work today. I've been off for the last almost 10 days. He goes, where did you go? I said, no holiday. I just took some time out of work. I didn't want to explain the situation.
Yeah.
They weren't going to sit there and say, listen, mate, dad went away to India, this, that, the other. So he goes, all right, cool. And then he goes, it's really funny because someone the other day came in and told me that it's haram to go on holidays unless you go on Islamic holidays, like you go to Makkah or Medina or something. It's for an Islamic reason. What? Yeah, so I replied to him. I said, that's really weird because in the Quran, Allah tells us, not literally in these words, but Allah tells us to the likes of, travel the world and see the creation that Allah has created, innit? And so I said to him, so, that's so therefore, if anything, we're encouraged to go on holidays. Yeah. And I said that as a serious point, and it must have sounded like a joke because I was like, Islam, Allah says this in the Quran, so if anything, we encourage you to go on holidays. He goes, and I was like, no, that's I don't know. So, but instead of me saying no, I'm being serious, I thought, let me not make this awkward for him. Yeah. So I started laughing. So he was like, and I was like, see you later, man. And I was like, why are we laughing? I actually meant that. I was trying to refute what the guy was saying. So yeah, that happened this morning.
Yeah, it's allowed to go on holiday, man.
Of course, it's encouraged, bro. Why would you not see? Cause he was saying if you go to the guy was telling him, if you go to, because if you go to France and this, that, the other, he was saying for basically if you go to a non-Islamic, then he said it's haram. And I've heard
people bring that up, to be fair. I think you need to use wisdom and where you go. You don't necessarily want to end up during the summer holidays.
Red light district, of course. But
yeah, of course. I wasn't going to say that, but it's quite extreme.
I was just trying to finish it. You know that thing we do when we finish each other's sentences? That's what I was doing.
Yeah, but I wasn't going to say red
Yeah,
light
but
district.
of course, yeah.
Yeah.
No, joking.
But yeah, going away with your family, always have your intention there. If you're taking your wife away, you're taking your family away for the sake of Allah. There's barakah there, man.
But also, what about if you were to go? One thing I really want to do is go to the Swedish Alps and see the mountains. Like, I want to see Allah's creation. Do you know what I mean?
I'd like to go to
Mount
New
beautiful.
Zealand, bruv.
Yes, I would love to go to that part of the
My
world.
wife's sister's there now, and I'm seeing some of the pictures, and it's just, oh my days. I need to, inshallah, to go and see that. That looks incredible. I think that's got to be on the top of the list.
Do you remember where I said I had the intention of going?
Bali.
Yeah. I'm going to try and make that happen, inshallah.
Yeah, inshallah.
Yeah.
Make dua.
Make dua, man, because...
Make dua for yard, Bali, Range Rover.
Loads of dunya stuff, yeah. Where am I going to get this money? I don't know.
Inshallah, it'll come.
Inshallah.
Inshallah, will be provided. I
Yeah,
want to go
Allah
to
is
Japan.
Sorry?
I want to go to Japan.
Japan.
Yeah, I'm hopefully going to be going next January.
You said
inshallah.
last podcast, didn't you?
Yeah.
Inshallah, going.
Remember you
going-
saying Japan?
Yeah, but now we've like kind of set it in. Well, nothing set in stone until it happens. But inshallah, the plan is to go next January.
Inshallah, man. I'll make that easy for you.
Wow, I've never played
I don't know,
incredible
man. I
life.
don't know. But it's like you said, man. The funds, because Japan, because we intend to go for about 2 weeks, and
It's pricey over there.
It's
it's
not cheap,
pricey
man.
over there. The flights there are pricey as it is as well. So I don't know, man.
The art of
You'd
handling
get
money.
some pictures there, man, wouldn't you?
Huh?
You'd get some very good pictures there, bro.
Man, I can't. Basically, how do I explain it? It's not really like a honeymoon, but basically, obviously, inshallah, I'm gonna get married. So after,
Inshallah, may Allah make it easy
I
for
mean,
you.
yeah, you know, everyone make dua for me. I'm
Make
gonna
dua
need
for
it.
Red and his
Yeah,
future wife, inshallah.
But the holiday that we went to, most people go away like to beaches and like kind of like really remote areas to kind of just relax. But
Like Bali.
yeah.
You want to
Yeah.
go Tokyo?
But I want to go like not Tokyo, like surrounding areas of Tokyo to like just travel, man.
Yeah.
And see a place that I've wanted to see since I was a kid
Well, you've wanted to go to Japan for a while.
for a long time. man.
What inspired you to want to go to Japan?
Since I was a 12, 13-year-old, I've been like quite a bit of a anime head.
I thought you were going to say that because that's
Yeah.
I thought
someone's.
you were going to say
Yeah,
that.
yeah, but then like that was the start of it, and then after that I started looking into more of their culture and looking at where the people are from and the air, like just the country itself is just beautiful. It's quite, but then again, like there are a lot of underlying things about the country as well. But I want to see all of it, like the goods and the bads as well.
Do you remember last time we spoke about this? I mentioned about how one of my clients, a young guy who just came back from working there for 2 years, and he was telling me about he worked there as a teacher, as a teaching assistant.
Yeah.
And he was telling me when I cut his hair, he just spoke about it the whole time, and it was fascinating, just the culture and how obviously it's so different. But there's the things like I think I mentioned it about they don't like firing people. So at the school that he worked at, did I mention this?
mentioned it, yeah.
I thought it was interesting. So rather than this guy who was actually I think he was British as well. Instead, he was useless or whatever the reason was. They didn't want to fire him. Instead of taking him, they took him out of the classroom that he taught and they put him into a separate building, into a separate room, and he had to just show up to this room on time, and he just sat at a desk. And he did it for X amount of weeks, and it's basically you can only tolerate it as a human being for so long. You're just turning up, you're sitting there the whole day with no work to do, just sitting by a window, and then eventually they choose to leave.
Surely at that point, the reason they're doing it is because they don't want to fire me. So
Yeah, but
is it easy to just fire someone?
no, because the idea is they don't want to have they don't want that confrontation of you're fired. They instead they don't fire you. They want you to leave. So what's the most? And rather than being nasty to you, you're still getting paid.
That is nasty. Yeah, I suppose.
It's and like for instance, if you're late for work, you have to stand up in front of the whole assembly of students and teachers and apologise to everyone that you're late. I'm not gonna. It's just very very different from what we're used to.
The whole principle of honor is completely different
Yeah.
to like the worldly kind of outlook on things. It's so weird. But I just want to see it for myself. That's why I really want to go. And that's really interesting. I didn't actually know about that.
Yeah, he told me a lot of interesting things. Man.
That's interesting.
I'm not sure if I can see myself getting out there anytime soon. If an opportunity arose, I definitely would go. But I don't long for it as much as others.
You never know. Maybe we have one lone freshly grounded listener in Japan. Who,
If they want to fund the trip,
who
I'm
wants
there,
to bring us
inshallah.
out there?
Inshallah.
Bros, we were speaking about coffee earlier, and I had something to tell you about coffee. So McDonald's have been promoting this, advertising their new flat white everywhere. Have you seen this?
No.
Everywhere.
No.
It's on TV, on
I don't watch
posters.
TV. I
Everything.
don't look at posters.
And you know how I'm a fiend for when it comes to an advert.
You're a fiend, yeah.
I
I haven't seen that.
I had to
advert
go
once.
I went to gym yesterday for the first time in like a week, and I needed a bit of a pre-workout, so There's a McDonald's near me, so I was like, let me try the new flat white and use that as my pre-workout and then go to the gym.
Have they not done flat white till now? Is that
No,
right?
I don't think they have. They can't. I don't think they have, because it's like the all new flat white. Maybe they have, but this is a new, I don't know, version. Anyway,
How was it?
It was decent coffee. My point is nothing about the coffee. My point is this: there's people who you get these WhatsApp broadcast messages and stuff, and people say, don't eat at these places because you're funding Zionists and that kind of stuff. I was wondering what your stance is on that kind of stuff, because my wife was telling me a story about when she had it was a Ramadan and she was eating somewhere, and she brought the food back to the mosque or around the mosque, her and her sister, and this sister was just going in on them, how can you bring this near the mosque, you're funding this, that, the other. And
we're gonna get political now, yeah?
Well, no, not political, but I have a question about my thing is this: I can understand when people say, you shouldn't eat here, you shouldn't eat there, you shouldn't buy these, because at the end of the day, it does. To me, logically, it makes sense. Allah says in the Quran that we should help each other in good and not help each other in bad, right? But I was just thinking to myself that there must be. It must be almost impossible to avoid. Imagine you go to a supermarket and checking every single product that you buy to make sure where it's from. Do you think that people do that?
Yeah, I do.
And do you think that? What do you think about that?
I don't want to get into it too
Really?
much. Yeah, I think it is political, and if you look at it really, really deeply, there's really good reason why people get so anti it. So I'm not going to.
Well, I have family members who do it, and I think that, like I said before, I can understand the reasoning behind it. But I also feel like if you was to go into every Muslim household, you'd probably find a product.
I'm sure, but I think again, I don't want to. All I'll say is this: if I'm going to go and buy some dates, I'll ensure that the dates are from a particular place.
Yeah, I do the same, but all my dates, I'll make sure they're from Palestine.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
But me personally, I don't go to the extent of ensuring that every single thing is not from. I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I don't want to go into it.
Of course, I know. I would imagine that's the conversation that we would have had. So I didn't imagine to be sure. My point was just that, let's say, for example, you're at the grocery store, you're buying fairy liquid.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, you're buying washing up liquid. Yeah. Now, do you see where I'm coming from with this?
I do see, and I don't want to I don't want to put my personal, because I don't know whether my personal opinion is
permissible or not.
Permissible or not. So that's it. That's it. Say no more for me.
Fine. And I can see that, just to round off the point, just to reiterate, I'm not going against it because I can see logical reasons for it, and I can also see how it's easy, at least one should try hard to avoid the big things. For example, it's very easy to avoid McDonald's or to avoid maybe big coffee shops like Starbucks, etc. But I'm just intrigued as to the level at which
Centre Parks, or they had a Starbucks, and I would go and have a Starbucks because I wanted a coffee. So my desire of...
so you did get espresso-based coffee then?
Yeah, but it was I'm not even...
Really?
So bad, bro.
Really?
I'm not even just saying that because I'm not trying to be a coffee snob. It was... I think what I did, I went and had one, and I had oat milk, and they asked for I said what size, and I thought I'll have a medium. I had a medium size, which came out to be huge. And it was just
they're massive there.
Disgusting. And the oat milk they used as well was disgusting. It was horrible coffee, bro.
They use... Have you tried their coconut milk? No. Please do not, bro. What it is they make their stuff themselves or something. It's their own version.
It was terrible,
bro. Omar got coconut coffee from there, and I had to return it and say, this is disgusting. How are you selling it?
Yeah,
they said this. They had to apologize.
My coffee. I'm not a coffee snob, but it was revolting and made me feel really ill. I think it's probably because I had too much oat milk, but I couldn't even taste the coffee. It was just a horrible. It was horrible. It was really horrible. But the reason I brought it up is because if I wanted a coffee, I'm not gonna because I'm Muslim refute these places 100%. My desire for a coffee was that I'll go and get a coffee. But like I said, if I'm gonna get to some dates, I'll ensure they're coming from a certain place.
I hear that. I may Allah forgive us, you know what I mean?
Because the thing is, you can understand, and people
100%.
listening who have knowledge on where that comes from and actually the effects it has, and etc. It's deep. It's really, really deep. Maybe because our full understanding of the whole subject isn't that vast.
It's true.
That's why I don't want to comment on it too much, because I know when you look into it, there's really good reason why to refute it. But I remember I've had brothers have a pop at me because I'm going in Tesco's and buying certain things out of Tesco's. I was like, come on, I need to get groceries, man. We'll draw the line somewhere. But that's for me personally, without speaking and acting without knowledge. But There's more things to worry about than making sure I can have to get my groceries from here, there, and everywhere, opposed to from somewhere because it might be coming from a certain place. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's my We'll leave it there.
It might be a serious. I don't know.
I'm sure it is a serious thing because I can see the importance of it. I'm definitely not going to sit here and say like the people that are like wrong or anything like that. I'm just intrigued as to the levels, but I can definitely we'll end it there.
Yeah. We don't do political
conversation.
It's too much. Yeah, because you never know who's.
We could get it wrong.
Exactly.
We don't want to say something Islamically that's wrong as well.
Exactly.
Fine. On the topic of you having some bad service at a food place, I have experience that I want to discuss with you.
Go on.
So yesterday, you tell me as a person who owns a not a restaurant, but you own a food place, you have customers and stuff. How you do the situation? So I decided last night to order my wife and my sister a takeaway, Chinese takeaway. I didn't want to get anything because my wife made some food, so I was going to eat that. So I was happy, but I thought let me treat them because they like Chinese takeaway, etc. So I ordered them Chinese takeaway, Ordered the food. I said, how long is it going to take? She said 45 minutes. Fine, cool. 1 hour later, our food hasn't arrived, Now I called the lady and I said, look, you said 45 minutes, it's been an hour, food's not here, like where is it? She said, I'll call the driver and I'll let you know where it is. I'm sorry about that. And then she said, okay, the driver is just around the corner, he'll be there any minute. I said, all right, fine. Another 15 minutes passes. No food. I said, look, it's been an hour and like 10 minutes or something now. The food's not here. And she said, all right, let me contact the driver. I'll call you straight back. I hung up the phone. She didn't call straight back. She didn't call back at all, So now I'm getting stressed because it's been almost an hour and a half. You said 45 minutes. Now I understand it's like Valentine's Day or whatever, so people are probably ordering food and stuff, but you have to, if that's the case, you have to then say, look, it's going to be an hour and a half. Right? Like yesterday I went on Uber Eats and Uber Eats literally said at the top, it said because of there's a lot of deliveries today, food's going to be longer. It's fine. Like, but if you told me 45 minutes, I'm expecting 45 minutes. Now, bless them, my wife and my sister are really hungry. I couldn't hold it anymore, so I started eating my food. And then I started getting angry, so I rang them back. I said, look, this is the third time I'm ringing you now. You said you're calling back, you didn't call me back. My food's not arrived. It's got to the point where everyone's so hungry now. Now when it arrives, it's probably going to be cold. I want a full refund, She's like, all right, calm, I'll give you a full refund. And she was like trying to figure out where the food is, this, that, the other. She's like, I'll give you a full refund. But I'm still expecting my food, bro, because I ordered my food. Yeah. You say 45 minutes. I haven't made any mistakes here. Driver apparently comes back and she's like, the driver's back. He's saying he's delivered the food about 50 minutes ago, 50, I'm like, listen, I'm trying to keep my cool. I said, listen, your driver didn't bring the food. I said, I have CCTV camera outside my house. I can prove to you that no one came to deliver the food. I'll just show you the CCTV. So the driver ain't bring no food to my house. That's when I started getting angry. I was like, if it's a back and forth, I've got proof to say that he ain't been to my yard, innit? And then she was like, oh, apparently the driver ordered it to number 10, which obviously my house isn't number 10, innit? And I was like, okay, but now, because of your mistake, I ain't got no food, and I paid for my food, and now we're all sitting there hungry, so I still need my food, but there's no way I'm paying for the service, so I need a full refund. She was like, all right, let me see this manager. Comes back, manager says, no, you can either have full refund or your food. I was like, what? I ordered my food 2 hours ago now, And she's like, yeah, but we have to make new food. I said, that's not my problem, because I ordered my food, I paid for my food, you said 45 minutes, I waited for my food, I made 0 mistakes here, all of the mistakes were made on your behalf. So for me to ask for a full refund, have my money back, because the service I paid for I didn't get, so now I want my refund, but I still ordered food and I'm still hungry, so I still deserve my food. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, am I being
you should have got your food and a full refund.
Right. I didn't think I was being unreasonable. She goes, yeah, I understand your point, let me go chat to the manager again. Goes away, comes back, no, sorry, manager says definitely not. No, you either get one or the other. I said, what? I said, right, listen here. I said, I'll give you another option. I said, keep my money, make my new food, but I also want this, and this. Yeah, extra food, innit? She's like, all right, what I could do is I could give you a free starter or a free dessert. I said, give me my full refund, bro. She gave me my refund, I hung up the phone. I was so mad, bro.
So what did you do about the food?
Bro, we just all ate at yard.
That's a real shame.
But I was so angry, bro, because I was like, and I was thinking to myself, like, how could, I know, after she gave my refund, I gave her a mouthful after, said, look, fine, you give my refund now, but I said, your service is awful. I said, the worst service I've ever experienced. I said, how can you guys make all of the mistakes and then turn around and say, like, but now I haven't gained or lost anything. If anything, I've lost money, because now the money that I paid, my refund's going to come in like 5 days. Do you know what I mean? So, like, there's
so why don't you bait them up? What restaurant was it?
It was called Taipan.
Taipan.
Yeah.
Where?
In Northwood or Northolt. Northolt or Northwood.
Stay away from where?
Taipan.
Terrible service.
Can you believe that, bro?
I can't believe it.
What would you have done in that scenario? Not that you would ever go, but delivery drivers can make mistakes. Yeah,
They can.
But what would you do?
I would have been very upset and calling them and probably done exactly the same you did, but probably been more upset than you and shouted maybe a little bit more, especially if I was hungry.
I shouted a lot. But,
Did you?
yeah,
Like
but here's the thing, yeah. The other thing is I run a company myself, yeah, and so I'd like to think that.
Are you saying what would I do as the customer or
as a company owner?
Oh, bro, I would have massively apologised and I would have, like I said, I would have given the refund and the food and maybe a drink on top.
Bro, that's
Definitely.
People sometimes, yeah. Look, here's the thing.
When you make a mistake. When you as a business, you know what? Whatever it is, the customer's always right.
Of course.
And when you lose that and you lose respect for your customer, because each individual customer, you got to view it as someone who's ordering food with you. If you upset someone, you're going to lose that customer and maybe a few other customers around them. But if you keep them pleased, that you might be able to hold on to a customer that might even put money in your till a couple of times a week or a couple of times a month or
this was our go-to Chinese takeaway. I'm never ordering
Of course you're not going to go to again. So you have to, like, whatever it is. For instance, something happened in the salon the other day.
Okay.
It was an issue, a problem happened. The client was slightly upset, so the service was completely free. And simply because it was our fault, customer's always right, and it was our value of each customer is so high that service, even though it should have cost £35, was completely free because it was our fault. But like in the long run, to keep them happy and let them realise that we're in the wrong and try and make up for it by giving a free service, it's only going to make them realise, okay, they made a mistake, but look how they've honoured it, and now I'm going to continue to be loyal to them. But customer's always right, and as soon as you lose that, even because a lot of the times customers not always right.
Of
but
course.
If you lose that mentality, it's not good business.
Bro, I'd like to think with Izaha, as you can imagine, bro, alhamdulillah, we've shipped out hats in the thousands now, and
Mashallah.
So as you can imagine, there's going to be times where customer won't be happy for one reason or another. A lot of times there can be a reason. For example, once the hat leaves our warehouse, yeah, it's not we don't have Izaha delivery drivers. It goes to a courier company, a third-party courier company. Now, if the courier company makes a mistake, which has happened in the past, for example, recently the courier company got the complete wrong address. I don't know how, because this is the first time it's ever happened in the 5 years I've been using them. But they had a completely wrong address. But at the end of the day, the customer's not getting their product. Now, it's not my fault. It's not the customer's fault. It's the courier service's fault. But really, the onus is on me.
Yeah.
It's not on the customer. The customer paid for the product, they didn't get the product, right? And so I'd like to think that every time something like that has happened, where a customer has not been happy, I've overcompensated by either giving. And I'm not. This isn't me to gloat. This is just to explain that the onus is on the company, even when I haven't made any mistakes, really technically.
Yeah.
There are times I've given a full refund on the product, plus still given the product and an extra product for free. Just say, look, our mistake. Good. Here's your product. And here's an extra product, just say sorry. Or given the whole product, but also given like a voucher refund. So say, look, there's an extra £25 free for you to use in the Zaha store whenever you want. Or there's been instances where I've had to do this, that, or the other, given extra products for free, etc. Because for me to give an extra hat is the value of keeping that customer, or to not have the customer think bad of us or tell their friends bad of us, is way more valuable than an extra hat. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And for that company yesterday to like not think to, bro, at the end of the day, my order cost 20 quid. What's 20 quid, bro, to like a company who's getting orders like all the time, bro? Like, do you know what I mean, bro?
Yeah,
like, I just thought
that's very good customer care.
Yeah, man. And I know I'm sounding complaining, and I've probably been complaining all week, but bad customer service agitates me because there was no fault of mine in that entire thing.
Of course. But then they need to step up their customer care, because that's basics, isn't it?
It was a joke, bro.
I ordered from one of my favorite restaurants recently for some chicken. And I just, when you just trained and your appetite is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
It was a Saturday night as well, so it was very, very busy on the ordering. And he said, "Look, I'm sorry, but the delivery is going to be over an hour, maybe an hour and a half." It took 2 hours for the delivery to come. He obviously pre-warned me, but it was like almost the longest 2 hours of my life. And when you feel so hungry, you feel actually incapable of actually doing anything. You're literally just waiting for the food. And he dropped it round 2 hours later. And to make up for it, he gave me loads of ice cream and cake.
That's nice.
But I was on a strict diet, so it went to waste. But I thought he'd warned me that it was gonna be late. But yeah, we made it up with ice cream and cake, which is fantastic. What you expect?
Bro.
That's the thing, because like you got to keep people happy, and not everything. You know, when you're busy, you're busy. You got to work with it. But yeah, ice cream and cake doesn't cost him anything, but it's just that little gesture. But reminded me that okay, that's great. You care, and you're almost apologising in a way that I didn't have the ice cream or cake, to be fair. But it says a lot when someone makes the extra effort to do something just as an apology. It does have an effect on you, because if you would just show up 2 hours later of just the food, you'd be like, okay, fine, he warned me and it's a bit later, but you wouldn't really leave a great taste in your mouth. But the fact that that little thing on top makes a difference, doesn't it?
Yeah, he was like, look, sorry we're late. Get fat on me.
Exactly. Here's some sugar.
Yeah.
Even though my main was just chicken and salad.
But if he was really good at customer service, he would know you're on a strict diet and he'd give you something that's...
He wouldn't know that unless he was a psychic.
Not necessarily, bro, because...
back in the day, I've eaten there a lot of times.
Technology nowadays.
I had a lot of ice cream in his premises.
So he probably knows.
He
probably
assumed that was... Yeah, didn't know that was clean eating at the time.
He just hasn't got the technology to check if you're on a diet.
I'm glad he hasn't, no. The point is he cared. He
did care.
Little chocolate ice cream thing there.
I have another thing that I want to talk to you about.
Go on.
It's interesting. Have you heard about this? Have you seen this video that's kind of gone around today of these Liverpool football fans?
No.
Okay, that's good. That would be nice thing to talk about. Okay, fine. So basically, I don't know too much about football. It's fair to say that I know hardly anything, yeah? Mm-hmm. But what I do know is that Liverpool Football Club, they have a footballer called, I'm going to say Mohamed Salah, I might be wrong, but his last name is Salah, yeah, he's a Muslim. I don't know much about him at all, other than the fact that he's a Muslim. And as you can see, I haven't really done my research, but I've seen this video, and I thought it'd be interesting to discuss on the podcast. I think he's really good, and like he's been scoring goals, etc. And so the Liverpool football fans have like, this video has come up with Liverpool football fans. I want you to watch it, and then we'll comment on it, because I'll tell you what my feelings are about it, but I want to know your feelings first, or maybe I'll tell you my feelings first. Anyway, let me show you the video. Okay, so just to translate before in case people didn't hear that, the Liverpool fans, he must have scored or something, and they say Mo Salah, la la la. Yeah, they're saying like over his name. They're saying if he's good enough for you, then he's good enough for me. And then it says if he scores another few, then I'll be Muslim too. And then if he's good enough for you, he's good enough for me. And then it's like
sitting in the mosque.
Sitting in the mosque. Like, if he's sitting in the mosque, that's where I want to be. Do you want to comment on it? Do you want to hear my comments on it?
Go on, so what's your comment?
So my comments are this, yeah. The old me, the Jahil me, who was Muslim still but wasn't practicing, would be gassed. Like, bruv, this I'll be sitting there saying, bro, they're sick dawah, bro. That's like they're talking about Muslim in a good way, this and the other, and I'll be like, I'll probably like post on my social media, etc., etc. Now, I'm not trying to be a negative Nancy. I'm not going to sit here and like complain left, right, centre. But I'm just my only thing is this year is that but now I'm not completely against it. But my point is this year, like there's a bunch of guys holding alcohol, probably off their heads, singing about wanting to be Muslim and stuff, and it's obviously not sincere. It's probably like, you know what I mean? It's over, like, and they're drunk. Do you know what I mean? And they got alcohol in their hands, and I know a lot of people might be gassed off that, but like my point is that look at the environment in which it's being like said in. It's like Islam is like so much more elevated than that. It's so much higher than like us to get gassed and be like, oh, look how sick it is. Like they're talking about Islam, but like we don't need validation, bro. Like we know Islam is amazing. We don't need to get like, do you know what I mean? That's my stance on it. It's a tricky one, right?
It definitely wouldn't. Didn't gas me up and didn't make me feel like it was a good dawah or anything like that. But
Okay.
at least it's not. I wouldn't say it's a negative to Islam in the sense that yes, Islam is higher than drunk people shouting it.
Yes.
But I'm not saying it's dawah.
Okay.
But the lesser of two evils. At least it's not a negative. On
They're not saying, they're not being racist
sincere.
towards it.
Yeah, of course, they're not being racist, and they don't mean it, but they probably think it's such a. It is almost probably mocking it in the sense that they don't mean it. They don't understand the important. Like, do you know what I mean? It's almost like airheads.
Yeah, I'm not saying they're mocking it. I wouldn't say,
they're
but
not, it's like, but there's no. Obviously, they're not sincere. They don't want to be in the mosque. They're not going to become Muslim. But the thing is, people are so passionate about football.
Yeah.
And the effect that football has on some people's hearts is like so powerful. The fact that usually people would cuss Islam and being Muslim and going to the mosque, the fact that they're actually not being negative about it, I'm not going to look at that and have any kind of hatred towards
right.
it.
I like the fact that Islam's not being cussed as well.
But they're not sincere, are they?
But then again, they
They don't necessarily now actually genuinely want to take shahada and go to the mosque. They're just the thing the thing that maybe these people care about is the football and the goal.
Yeah.
I don't really care. It's fortunate that he's actually scoring goals for them, because I'm sure if he missed the goal, they'd probably be shouting something very negative and it would be the exact opposite.
Wow.
But
Yeah.
because their hearts
Very
are
true.
attached to that football and that goal so much, they're making it as a good thing. But next week or next month, when my man fails and does something bad, I'm sure they'll spin those lyrics and it'll be a negative about the mosque and negative about being Muslim.
Right.
But that's what's close to their hearts, isn't it? So.
Yeah. Sure. Football fans are some of the most passionate, aren't they?
They are, yeah. I've seen people shed a lot of tears over football and stuff, man. I never understood that myself. I really just don't care about football, mate.
Yeah. I was in the corner. I don't know what my stories about the corner shop. I was in the corner shop the other day, and
The same one.
No, a different one just up here, and like these two guys walked in, and they were obviously friends or something, and it was just after transfer day. You know, last week or 2 weeks ago, there was like this like big day where like they were doing footballers were being transferred to different teams and stuff, yeah. And he goes, one of the guys goes to everyone, what do you reckon about what Arsenal just did or something like that?
To you or to
No, to his friend, and his friend goes like in the most blunt way, he goes, I'm not the man for football talk, mate. I don't follow football. And it's like, just end the conversation. He's like, oh, like it's just so funny to watch. Like he just like completely deaded the conversation.
I rate that because it happens in the salon. Someone mentions football, bruv, and people will just go in and they talk about. They're just talking about. It's not even talking about a football match that's happened. They're talking about all the things that, like you're talking about there. I've heard the same thing this week. People talking about how much people are and they're going this place and where they did there. That's the thing about football. It's not just a simple thing about who's winning, who's at the top of the league. It's like it's all the behind the scene politics that everyone talks about as well.
Pride thing as well.
It's crazy, bruv. I've got no interest in, man. I think it's crazy that the amount of money that footballers get paid, and
They get paid a lot, innit?
it's crazy, bruv. The whole thing's crazy, mate. Really, really crazy.
There's another thing I saw in the same I think I've been seeing around here a lot recently is there seems to be a old trend that's come back. Not even an old trend, because I never even knew it was a trend amongst adults. But have you seen you know those scooters?
See old people on scooters.
No.
Older people on scooters.
No, not you know what I'm talking about? Like the
No.
not the
Micro scooters.
huh?
Yeah, like micro scooters. Like ones that you go travel on, like a kid would travel on.
Yeah, like a kid.
Yeah, but like adults use it.
Adults.
See all the time, bruv.
Bro, in the last couple of months, I'm driving to work. I've seen so many adults in full work gear,
Yeah,
suits, women, men,
on
everything,
yeah.
on scooters.
One thing I will say is maybe don't knock it till you try it.
No. I wasn't. I'm not against
Are
it.
you
I've
positive,
seen.
yeah? It's
Kind
yeah,
of.
Yeah. It's I don't think I would ever be that. I definitely wouldn't be that guy.
It just looks so weird,
I
but
know,
it's
it looks
kind of
weird.
cool.
Yeah, well, imagine like you're just fed up with that walk, and if you jump on a scooter, you get that much quicker. Have you been on a scooter? Do you remember? Did you use a micro scooter?
back in the day.
Think about how much fun it is. If you get like a slightly bigger, secure one, which these people seem to be on, that actually looks.
But it's
looks
such
fun.
it's such an interesting trend that I've like clocked recently.
Yeah.
As like becoming really popular now.
Yeah, it is. I see a lot of people do that.
I can see you on a scooter, Sam. 6'4",
6'4".
in a scooter.
You drop them down.
6'6", on a scooter. Sorry, mate.
I was 6'5" for a while. Now you're saying 6'4".
No, 6'4" is Nate. That's what I've
That's
read in my
right.
head,
That's right. I can't see myself on a scooter. Not that.
Don't knock it till you try it.
Well, yeah, I hear that. I totally hear that. But I just, I don't want to go around on a scooter.
When it becomes cool,
Will it though?
I think it's getting cool.
By whose definition?
Society.
society, I reckon, has got lots of different trends and fads and stuff. And from where I stand, I wouldn't not do it because it's not cool, but I can't see myself like being associated to going around on a scooter.
Should I see what else is becoming cool, Sam, right now?
What?
In trend? Fanny packs.
Sorry?
Isn't that what they're called?
Fanny packs.
Yeah.
The stuff that
bags.
you wear.
Huh?
Bum bags.
Yeah. Oh, they're bags that you put in front of your
They've been around
waist.
for a minute, mate.
No, what? They're becoming popular though. Like, as in, like,
Again.
trendy.
Are they?
Would you rock one?
Nah.
Little Gucci one?
Nope.
Don't knock it till you try it, Sam.
Nah, because when they came back, I remember they came back when I used to be more involved with the raving scene or whatever, and you see loads of mandem with these little packs on, bruv. I know quite a few people that you know who used to wear them. It's not a good look, mate. When I was younger,
It's odd, isn't it?
yeah, it is odd. Yeah, it's really not a good look. But I've seen a couple, even roadman are wearing, like, rather than wearing the bag round them, they're like wearing it there. So
Really?
they're like tightening the strap, even though the bag is created to go round like a
No,
shoulder
I've
bag.
not seen that.
I've seen people actually wear it, so they do it so tight it's actually right in front. It's right there, but it's actually the bag's not actually designed for that. I'm not sure who said that was a good look. I don't know. Maybe I'm not really with it anymore, but it's not a good look.
Interesting.
That's what I've seen.
I've not seen that, but I'll probably look out for it now.
Would any of you? I've considered skateboarding to work.
Skateboarding.
Pennyboarding.
Skateboarding's sick, mate.
I used to skateboard.
There's a small penny
Pretty
board that
rubbish.
you can buy. That's
What's-
like a easier to carry around on public transport. And I've considered doing it.
Yeah, skateboarding's a good look, man. I've got a skateboard.
Yeah.
It's at the shop. People just use it when they cut kids' hair now, but it's
Oh, yeah,
it's
yeah,
there. I saw a homeless man skateboarding this morning in a
Yeah.
puddly puddle. The
Wow.
puddle looked like quite a depressing sight, to be honest. I'm not, but I was just thinking, you're on a skateboard in a puddle. You know the skate park down the road? Yeah, I thought it was just there was a very, very wet in there.
Are you sure he was homeless, or is that just a grungy look?
At first I thought he might have just been almost like a hipster, but I looked closer and I think he was, judging by the rips in the tracksuit, it looked like it wasn't a hipster. He could have been homeless, but it didn't look like he was kind of pumping really slowly in the water. I thought, oh, that's not nice. That's not that nice.
I went through a skateboarding phase when I was little.
I bet you did.
Yeah, proper.
Big phase on the skateboard.
And I was never really good at it though, and I used to skate outside the house, and and so it started. I just got from Toys R Us. I just got this skateboard, and I soon realised that if you want to take skateboarding seriously, you got to build your own skateboard.
Correct.
So I went. I used to love this website called I can't remember what it was, but they used to sell decks and trucks and everything, and you would buy your own deck.
What ABEX would you have?
Your own. I can't remember any of this
7.
stuff now. But I clocked that the size of the deck that I needed to be much smaller and all this kind of stuff. And so I had in my, back then I was a kid, so I had no money, and so I had saved all of this stuff to my basket, knowing that one day I'm going to buy it. I had the best trucks, say that I liked, they were yellow or something, and they had
What brand they
the
were?
best wheels. I can't remember.
It's just, did you go to a really did you go to a school where you were not surrounded by Asians?
No, yeah, there wasn't many Asians, but it wasn't nothing to do it wasn't nothing to do with people around me. There was no skate people around me, and I didn't make friends with skater people at all. It was just a private thing that I was seemed to be. Oh, I know what it was, because I used to watch this program called
Tony Hawk's.
Life of Ryan.
Tony Hawk's changed the
Life
world.
of Ryan.
Yeah.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, Ryan Sheckler.
Yeah,
I used to I used to see him. I used to be so amazed,
Oh, wow.
because once I just came across this program. I just became, and I saw he was 16. He used to drive around in a Range Rover, and he's and I was this is the life I want to live. And so I think that's what kind of got me into wanting to skate. And so I had this deck, saving these trucks, and I bought all of these tools and bolts that you could build your skateboard with. And
Okay,
yeah,
so you
man,
didn't
I
even
was
have
really bad. So I
don't remember if you remember the finger decks that you could get. So you
Yeah,
could play
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
So I used to collect all the finger decks and stuff like that. And play Tony Hawk's Pro Skater on the PlayStation.
Yeah, I used to have
all
all the skating games. Yeah.
So we were both grunge kids, and that's pretty.
My mum made me wear knee pads and elbow pads and a helmet.
No, I didn't have that.
So that ruined the coolness of it.
I can't imagine you skateboarding.
I was never good.
Nah. It's a great culture though, man. It still is. I love the whole skateboarding culture. It's sick.
Yeah.
Have you not noticed that Men's Bar's got some skateboards hidden away? Have you seen?
I've seen them. I've seen
Yeah.
them in the
I like
light.
the fashion that comes with it.
Yeah,
I
it's
like
good,
the
man.
looks that
The
comes with it.
culture of skateboarding is
Yeah,
great.
It's cool.
But I got a skateboard not that long ago in the scale of things, which is actually the one at the shop. Have you seen the one at the shop that kids sit on when they
Yeah.
get a haircut?
So you got a deck. It's not wheels, is it?
No, it's the full thing.
Really?
Yeah, there's two decks in there.
Oh, okay, I've seen
One
those.
of them is a men's bar one, which is a penny board. One of them is a Palace one, and then the other one is my most recent skateboard, which I actually bought a couple of years ago. And I brought the deck, the trucks.
And
Actually,
you
when
built
I
yourself?
became Muslim, I actually ended up like simplifying myself so much. I went back to buying a skateboard, thinking
To
I'd
travel on.
Yeah, but it didn't. It was
But what?
because when I was young, I used to skateboard, like similar to
good?
you. I'm not going to say I was good.
Be better than me.
I imagine better than you.
Could you ollie?
Yeah, I could ollie.
Yeah, I never even got to that point. I always fell over trying to ollie.
But I was quite a big boy when I was younger, so the ollie wasn't that high. I was quite weighty. But I was quite good on a skate park. Skate park where I was actually... Do you remember PlayStation skate park?
No.
Do you remember PlayStation? It's actually called Xbox now.
Really?
Near... I swear it's not even far from these ends here.
Yeah, but you're quite a bit older than me, aren't you, Sam?
A little bit. Oh, yeah, forget how young you are.
Yeah,
But, oh, yeah, I love it. And I got one a couple of years ago. And I did the whole... I brought the deck. I brought everything separately. And, yeah, it's just in the shop now. People use it when they cut hair and they just sit kids on it. It was nice. I kind of tried to rekindle it, but what I realised is I'm probably a little bit too tall, and if I fall down and break my wrist now, it's not really worth it.
Yeah, now that you have a lot of responsibilities and stuff, I suppose it's like for you to like be out of action is a bigger risk
Yeah.
now, innit?
Yeah.
Along back, you got family, you got businesses, you need to,
Yeah.
keep active, I suppose.
But yeah, skateboarding's good, man.
Speaking of age, I turned 24 the other day.
Did you?
Yeah. I turned 24 the other day. It's always an awkward thing in my
Yeah. So I know
good.
you don't like
celebrate
But
birthdays.
12th
Go on, you can say it.
12th Feb. I know the date.
Yeah, so what happened?
What did you do
is
for it?
Nothing. Obviously, I was in the shop, man. I didn't do anything.
That's what it was. That's what it was. I was on 12th of February. I was like, "There's something today," but I couldn't work out what it was.
Yeah, no, I was in the shop and then I just went home and went to sleep, man, after I closed the shop. But it's an awkward thing because obviously there's people around me who are, like it's like there's differences in it, and so
Yeah.
But alhamdulillah, my people around me have become very, very respectful of it, and I'm so blessed in that sense.
Yeah.
And I think at first it was kind of seen as a bit of a joke, like, oh yeah, he doesn't, but they would like kind of like
Still
try
make
to force me
effort,
to celebrate. Yeah. And alhamdulillah now, on a majority, people are very respectful of it. And yeah, man, I don't like. You know what I mean? Like my celebrations are for Eid. The 2 Eids in the
100%.
year, and we got Eid every Friday on Jummah. Do you know what I mean? We can, and I'm content with that. Do you know what I mean? content with what Allah
I'm
gives
so
me.
content with celebrating when I'm supposed to celebrate, which is those
man.
2 Eids. I've got no desires to celebrate any of these other things. Even before I became Muslim, like all these, there's so much this, that, and the other. I'm happy that I've actually got genuine reason why I don't actually celebrate it. Because
Yeah, same.
I was never that fussed about birthdays, other than when I was very, very young. Never that fussed about Christmas. Never that fussed about Valentine's. All this nonsense. They just create all these different pagan things to make money from. So alhamdulillah, I've got no emotional attachment to anything. I think the test will come for me is when people are saying, why aren't you celebrating Zayden's birthday? I think the test will come with the bringing up your
Right now,
children.
I can imagine that. Right now, Zayden doesn't.
No, he doesn't know, and I'm not going to weaken that. I'm not going to say,
course,
oh,
of course.
I don't care. But it's the
How do
people
you plan
around
to
me.
though explain that to him? I'm sure you've got a very good method.
I'm going to deal with it when I have to deal with it, bro. Like I'm a Muslim. He is a Muslim, and we do what our Lord commands us. Simple as that. And the thing that doesn't worry me, but I'm aware that there's going to be a lot of people around him that will be having birthday parties. And I've spoken to brothers who've got children who their children don't go to birthday parties. Instead, they make up for it and do something like an activity as a family that weekend. So it'd be the same thing if little Johnny down the road's got a big birthday party. I'll use my wisdom. I mean, I don't lesser of two views. I'm not sure if him going to like be there and enjoy it. I'm not sure, but if he can't for some reason go somewhere, I'll just make sure that I can nice him up in a different way.
I think that's the thing. I think like when you're dealing with people around you, it's hard to just sit there and say like. I think we have to deal with things with wisdom.
Yeah.
I think the way to deal with things with wisdom, like you said, is like to try and find halal alternatives, so that when it comes to these kind of occasions, that the person A understands and B is like doesn't feel like they're missing out.
Yeah.
So you're right. Like just like all of the shaykh always say when it comes to Valentine's Day. You should be treating or Mother's Day or Father's Day. You should be treating these people around you so good throughout the whole year that you know what, if you don't do anything on that specific day,
no doubt.
They don't even feel it.
It's just that pressure because society tells us to do something and we have to go. And there's an expectation now. All I've seen on social media about people doing this, that, and the other for this Valentine stuff, bro. It's just like the pressure from society. Go out and you have to like. I see people spending a huge amount of money on for Valentine's. You know what I mean? Just like through social media, you see these things. Yeah. I think, subhanAllah, I'm so glad I'm not a part of this.
Shall I tell you what I think the tough thing is, Sam? I think this is something that a topic that we can't really avoid because it's so true in so many people's lives, especially people who are quite practicing. Because often you find when people become practicing, they often become practicing alone because Allah's guided them or they found the deen.
Yeah.
And so I think the difficulty and the test that is in our lives is when, for example, something would happen like, for example, Mother's Day, where you are so strong and upon this thing where you don't celebrate Mother's Day, but let's say, for example, your mother is not on that, and your mother wants to celebrate Mother's Day, and that's the test because you can't upset your mother, but you have to find a way of doing it.
You implement wisdom,
of course,
and you learn that. And you know, alhamdulillah, Allah's made it easy for me. The first few years of being Muslim, not doing the Christmas, not doing the messages for birthdays, all this kind of stuff. Like, all you have to do is use wisdom. So, like, if your mumsy or whatever is expecting something, don't do it on that day, and don't wrap it up as a present for that day. But why not the week before or the week after? Try and grab a bunch of flowers and some chocolates for a day, or
take her out for a meal,
and make yourself present, and you're doing the same act as you would do on that day that they'd expect you to do it, but you're not doing it on that day with that intention. You're doing it normally. So there's no haram there. Do you know what I mean? It's just wisdom, because when the first few Christmases I wasn't there, it was upsetting. It was upsetting for like my family. I think like, why is he jeopardizing this as a family thing? So rather than you don't just put a wall up and say, I've got nothing to do with it. You just use wisdom and you use softness and kindness. And like they will respect that more because they respect the fact that you're upon something, but you're still making up for it in other ways. So how can they complain? If you're still being present in the sense of you're being there, you're giving them time or you're giving them a present or whatever, but not actually on that day with that happy Christmas, happy birthday thing written on it with the intention of doing that. Alhamdulillah.
Yeah, and I suppose not alienating yourself is what you're saying.
Yeah. Because
that's when people almost turn away from you or like they'll blame the deen.
Of course.
And like you always tell me, slowly catch your monkey.
Yeah.
You got a
softness though, man. Because it's like you need to learn softness and wisdom. Like you can't be harsh, and like people don't understand. People haven't been guided. People aren't upon the same thing you're upon. So rather than being harsh and just because like I know this is right or this, that and the other, like you need to be soft. You have to be very soft and kind. Very gentle, man.
Are you up for taking a quick break and then us jumping into some current events?
Yes, I am, yeah.
Okay, let's do that. Let's jump into some current events after this short break. I feel so unfresh. Can you tell that? Because I've been away for the whole week. I haven't even had a chance to get a haircut. I'm getting one tomorrow.
You said you don't look that bad, to be fair.
I don't look fresh. I don't feel fresh either.
You don't look bad though. Disguised with a hat in it.
Are you in tomorrow?
Yeah.
In the morning?
Yeah. What time are you in?
I can give you my salams. 11 a.m.
Yeah, I'll be there. Sure.
Should we get into some current events? Yeah.
Someone just sent me that video you just showed me.
Oh really? And what did they say about it?
Nothing. Just sent it to me.
Okay.
I don't know how I feel about it, to be fair.
Yeah, I'm in two ways.
Why are we whispering?
I don't know. Let's get into some current events.
Current events.
Current events.
Red one.
Sorry, we can. I refuse to go into current events like that.
Well, if you notice, actually, you haven't been doing it consistently for every single episode. So
but
if you want to change it up, I'm going to change it up. How do you feel about that?
No, do you know what? Last episode, I would have felt so stupid in front of Musa because we were speaking about such serious topics. And for me to then go to current event, he would have just looked at me like, so it's only last week I did it because I just felt so.
It was only last week?
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Go on. Do it again.
Yeah, right.
Let's get it.
His face was blank.
I know, I couldn't, man. I would have felt like a numpty.
That was wicked, wasn't it?
Yeah, such a good episode.
Yeah.
Have you noticed I've changed the way of the titles? After much, loads of people like hated like how I used to title Freshly Grounded, and I like kept. I was very stubborn about it, and now I've changed it. Look, and I think it's much better now.
Yeah, that's good. What was it like before?
So before it was like Freshly Grounded episode 45. So it was like look at that one. It says Freshly Grounded episode 43. Yeah, it's like that. Now I've changed it. So like it says like a bit of that. Yeah, because look, this looks so much instead of Freshly Grounded 45 Musa, it looks much better now. It says Musa Salam taking Shahada in prison, leaving music and gang life.
Much better.
Right, so with that new beat of energy, let's get into some current events. Current events.
Red one.
I kind of liked it when you said my name clearly. It was quite.
Yeah, it was better at first.
It was nice.
I'm happy to go with that one.
No, let's stick to what we originally had planned. Let's not ruin the podcast.
We never planned it. It just happened organically. So if it changes organically, alhamdulillah.
That was an organic change, though.
For me, it was.
Okay, guys, that's not.
Not for me.
Yeah. How's it going, guys?
Yeah,
been a
fine.
while.
Well,
Thank you.
clearly not so great.
Loosen up.
I'm seeing you both after a long time as well. I feel like we've had a lot of gaps between the new year and then now Faisal going away and Sam going away and.
Wallahi, when I saw you red, I felt very happy this morning. I saw you. That's
bro.
that's the feeling that you bring to me. I saw you. I thought, oh, there's red, and I actually gave you a little squeeze in the hug. I don't know if you caught that.
felt
or
it.
not.
I squeezed.
Yeah, yeah.
I squeezed back.
It was nice.
So that was a nice.
So I just want to drop that in there. It's good to see you. Always good to see you.
Yeah, it's beautiful. All right, so let's start with the current events. Funny one to begin with. Well, it's not funny. It's just unusual, really. So in Sweden, in Uppsala, I don't know, it's sort of 50 miles north of Swedish capital Stockholm, there was a man that was found with 500,000 pounds worth of Swedish currency from basically begging on the street and harassing people to pay him money and bullying them into giving him change to, quote unquote, get a ticket to get home properly. And he was arrested. Huh?
Where was he from?
He's Swedish himself.
Right.
Yeah, and I think he was from Stockholm, but he was stuck in the town called Uppsala basically. And he was found with 6 million of the Swedish currency.
Really? 6 million?
6 million because...
He's a millionaire.
Huh?
He's a millionaire, he's begging.
In Swedish currency, yes, but if you converted it to UK pounds, it's 535,000 pounds.
So he had 500 grand
500 grand.
from begging.
Well, that's the thing. So he's walking around with that much money, and not everyone. Well, they're still investigating it. They don't know whether the entire amount was from just begging. It could have been from like money laundering or.
Has to have been. You can't get that much from begging, surely.
Yeah,
Depends how much you beg.
No, but how?
That's too much.
No, but 500 grand. How did he? If he that was on
How
him,
was he
what, did he have a
carrying
bag?
that?
He carried it in the pockets of his jacket. He had like a massive jacket that he used as almost like
That's
a
a bit
sleeping
dangerous
bag.
walking around with that much money.
Yeah, and when the
think
police
to
caught him, the
Hmm?
notes just kind of fell out, literally.
Wow.
He had 6,000 notes of the one. So 1,000. What's the Swedish currency? I think it's called krona, and he had 6,000 of the 1,000 krona notes, and it took them almost a full day to count the entire money, which is nuts.
Do they confiscate it all?
Yeah, and he might be facing 2 years of jail.
For what?
For possible money laundering.
That's interesting.
Yeah, that's crazy. Thing is, like, if he earned all of it from just
Work.
begging,
Yeah.
what does that imply, like, in terms of like their legislations and stuff? Like,
Is begging legal?
that's the thing. No, I don't think it is.
Is it illegal then?
Is it illegal here? Is it illegal? I don't know.
I think it is. I remember when I studied law, I think loitering was illegal, which is like hanging around.
Ah, I see.
Something like that. I can't remember. I haven't
I
studied.
think I'm right in thinking that if you, as a Muslim, if you see someone begging, it's not permissible to. I don't think you get the reward if someone's begging.
Really?
Yeah.
By giving them
Didn't know that.
By
money.
giving the money, yeah. The if someone's begging,
Yeah.
you don't get the same reward by giving it to someone.
Right.
I suppose if you could see someone in need and you gave them money, I should probably have had something a bit more concrete before I announced that. But I was told that very early on that if someone's begging and you give them the money, you don't get the reward for giving in charity.
Really?
But obviously, if you see someone in need and you give them money, it's different.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't got anything to back that up, but I've been told that a few times.
That's interesting to look into.
I don't think it's permissible to beg as a Muslim, though, is it?
Yeah, because someone recently told me. So someone recently told me that apparently asking for donations, but for yourself, it's not allowed. But they didn't give me the. I didn't ask them for the evidence because they just said it as a passing comment.
It's not permissible to ask for charity.
So let's say, for example, I was to ask charity for say if I set up a GoFundMe page because I wanted to do something like pay my office rent or something. But I don't know the details because I never asked about the delete. Like it was just a passing conversation.
Yeah. Anyway,
but what if it's like something you started up? For example, if you do like events and stuff, and then you need money to kind of subsidize for those events, but it's for the people as a service. Then
Yeah, I suppose if you're doing a service, I can't imagine there'd be. But we'd have to find out. That'd be an interesting question to ask.
Yes.
yeah.
Inshallah, we should note that one down for when we have Tim Humble on the podcast. Inshallah.
What about when
Oh, we definitely need to do that episode, man.
what if you feed the poor instead of giving them money? Say someone asks you for money, because we see like so many people back home in Bangladesh. Like,
Well, this is the thing, and let's just put it into context, because if someone who's in desperate and dire need,
yeah,
I'm not saying you can clearly see there, and they're like almost like that in the sense that you can't be like, oh no, that's impermissible, because if someone's in desperate dire need, so I'm thinking in the scale of here in the West, you see someone on the street with a change pot saying, oh, can I have this? Da, da, da.
Yeah.
That's maybe when it's time to I'd maybe avoid it. But then you go somewhere when there's people in serious need,
Exactly.
like with their hands up. I don't know. This is what I'm speaking about knowledge, but I don't know if that would be maybe considered the same thing, because these are genuinely people who are. You know what it is? Speaking about these things about knowledge is dangerous. So I'm going to stop
Let's
that.
allow it. But can I just say that yesterday, someone came up to me and asked me for money, and I said to him, look, mate, I genuinely, the only change I have is coppers in my car, and he's like, all right, thanks. And he kind of walked away, and then I rolled down my window. I said, oh, but I have a bottle of water because I had fresh water. I think it was fresh, and he goes, nah, don't worry about it. So he wasn't thirsty.
Wasn't thirsty.
Clearly not, because he
Not for
refused my
water
bottle
anyway.
of water.
I had a incident this morning with a man on the train, a drunk man on the train.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was sitting there. I was actually listening to something about who's the New Zealand rugby player who did Umrah recently.
Sonny Bill Williams.
Yes, listening to
Would
something about him.
love to have him on the podcast.
Yeah,
DM'd him for Freshly Grounded maybe 3 or 4 times now.
really.
No replies yet.
Inshallah, he's a busy man.
He's a very busy man.
I was listening to something about him, and then out of nowhere, suddenly I smell alcohol so strong. I was thinking, it's strange. And I looked up and I saw someone drinking. He had a bag and there was a straw, and he was drinking it.
Oh,
and he had
really?
his phone. So I was sitting down and he was right next to me, and he had his phone. He was doing something on his phone, but it was almost looked like he was trying to show me the screen. So I looked up and I couldn't see the face. He had a hood on. It was all just a bit shady. And I looked up and I looked at the screen, and he was listening to like old Dr. Dre or Eminem or something. And it caught my attention for a second, because I remember the video. So I kind of looked at it, and then I heard and I had my headphones in. Then I heard like some shouting, and he was shouting. He said, "Look at my!" I was saying, "But look at my phone," and this, that, and the other. And I looked around, and the people cottoned on what was going on, and he was obviously just really, really, really drunk. And then he kept on talking, and I was sort of fine. I took my headphones out and just put my phone in my pocket. I was thinking, what's this guy saying? And he obviously was just out of it, and then he stumbled off the train. But this was like 8:30 in the morning. The geezer was plastered, mate. But I thought I'm gonna have a confrontation on the train.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But then he got off the stop before Westbourne Park. He didn't know. He basically said, "Why are you looking at my phone?"
He said that?
Yeah, he goes, "Look at my phone again," and just something like that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, he was confronting you?
Yeah, he confronted me. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Then he continued to shout about something else. So maybe I think like for a second he was entertained by me. Then he started shouting about what stop it was or something. But I looked across to me, and it was a brother sitting there, an older guy.
Dangerous territory. You're 6'6".
Yeah, I didn't want to have to, you
didn't want to have to 6'6".
But I was just like, the smell of alcohol at that time in the morning caught me by surprise, and I looked at him, he was listening to like old Dr. Dre, and then he was singing like old Dr. Dre songs, and then, but yeah, he was shouting at me, look at my phone again. I just put my headphones in my pocket and carried on. But it ruined, I was listening to something very interesting.
It's very interesting about that guy. I know a story that the New Zealand rugby team was sponsored by like a haram company. I think it might maybe an alcohol or gambling, and he refused to wear that T-shirt, and so they made a special like instance for him where they allowed him to tape up the logo of this haram company so that he could play rugby.
Inshallah, I'm gonna reward him.
I mean, yeah, he went to Umrah very recently, didn't he?
Yeah, he had all his tattoos out, didn't he?
Yeah, people were complaining. Weren't they?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I had the same thing. Actually, one of the guards made me cover my arm up.
Yeah, you told me.
Yeah,
and I think
and I don't know it's best with because the actual one of the parts of the pilgrimage is to have your right arm out. But because one of the guards covered it and said cover it, but one of the brothers I was with was like, I don't know whether you should, because he's telling you to do that, and actually what we should be doing is having your right arm out.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Maybe it was causing a lot of unwanted attention. So maybe like the wisdom was used just to say cover it up to avoid it. But it does actually you actually have to have your right arm out. So
Do you get a lot of difficulty because you're such a confident person? I imagine that you're quite confident in your. Like, I don't feel like people's looks and stuff ever get to you. But what do you find? Do you have difficulty a lot with that? Your
I had
tattoos and
someone
stuff.
go on my neck.
Really,
in
that must
Umrah,
annoy you.
and it's really annoyed me. But I was also very new on the deen then, and like everyone's comment would be like, it had an effect on me because I had it so much when I was doing Umrah, especially when I was doing Umrah. But there's so many people now. I have a different understanding. There's so many people who've come from all over the world who haven't seen that before. So at the time, it was like it was getting to me because it was frustrating. I was getting stopped, and people were trying to tell me about hadith, about tattoos, and that. I'm like, I like to say, can you clearly see that I'm not born Muslim? But you don't necessarily know what that even looks like, especially if you're from a village here or this place or whatever. So it's a lot of basically a lot of people trying to like maybe give me advice. Maybe their intention was correct, but now it would almost be like, I can definitely look past it and understand, like, I have gained the wisdom to how to deal with a situation where someone come up to me and tap me on the neck like that about my tattoo.
That's really.
And I was like, what are you doing? And you know what? Because of that, that's why the head of the haram, of security. Have I told you this?
I think so, really. But
The head of the haram, clocked that there was a situation in the sense that I obviously had tattoos and I was getting people pulling me up on it. And he started chatting to me, where are you from, and he said that I was a bit frustrated, and he actually said, okay, cool, come and meet me just before Maghrib, meet me at this spot, and I'm going to do something for you. I said, okay, cool. So I met him there, and it was Maghrib time, so in the Haram, a lot of people were sitting down ready to do Salah. And he walked me through the massive crowd, straight to the Black Stone, and allowed me to kiss the Black Stone 3 times. And how it felt at the time was I'd gone through a hardship in the sense that a lot of people were on my case about tattoos, and I was very new Muslim, so it was very, very frustrating, to be honest. And because of that being pointed out and people recognizing it and actually standing out for it, it was almost like I was rewarded with being able to like go up to the Black Stone and kiss it, like when no one else was around and stuff, and everyone was just thinking, who the hell is this guy? But alhamdulillah. But that's like from being tested by a lot of people being quite ill-mannered to me, and like I said, tapping me and this, that and the other. Whether their intentions were probably good, obviously, but it ended up being a blessing, man. Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. Shall we go on to the next one?
Yeah, what we got next, Red?
How much do you guys know about the shooting in Florida?
Very little.
I've heard about it.
Again, shooting in a school in Florida. Former student went back to the school that he was expelled from, and basically went in with a gun and just opened fire.
How old was he?
He was 19.
Really, that's young.
Yeah, it's quite young. Obviously, don't know much about his background, but he killed a couple of people outside the school. Went into the school, shot. And then basically, there's been a toll of 17 deaths. That could be higher. And it's sad, man.
Yeah, man, there's horrible people in the world, evil people.
Huh?
So there's evil people in the world, isn't it?
I don't know where or what would the psychological incentives be behind it, but it's too much of a regular thing in places like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's a country that having a firearm is a legal thing, and you're allowed to have a firearm. Yeah. So along with that, you're going to get a lot of firearm incidents, aren't you?
Yeah.
To be fair, because it was mentioned last night, and I was with someone, and they made the comment.
But so much so in the same manner, in the same style, in the same kind of chain of events. It happens.
Not schools. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah,
but we're brought up in a country where firearms, we view them very, very differently.
That's true.
In the States, they are viewed very, very differently.
Yeah, that's true.
So people are brought up with these firearms are not a alien, scary thing to a lot of people. It's a normal thing that your dad is going to have a firearm probably on his pouch, or there's a shotgun in the cupboard, it's a norm to have a firearm. So when it becomes a norm to have a firearm, we see, you know what I mean? I'm not saying that means it's a norm to shoot someone with it.
No, but it's desensitized.
You do get desensitized to it.
It is true. I mean, okay, so like back home, my family would, like my uncle had a Glock, and we had to have that around the area that we had, but it was more of in a kind of defensive.
In Bangladesh?
Yeah, in Bangladesh, because my grandfather was involved in politics.
Okay.
And so, we did have firearms in the home, but it was on a very, in a very defensive manner, and it was different. Like with the stuff that happens in America, like it's just, I don't know, man. It's just, it seems different to everything else and the psyche behind it is just completely different as well. It's just, I don't know. It's very disturbing.
Extremely disturbing, man. Taking anyone's life is disturbing, but going into a school and taking multiple lives is beyond belief that someone can do that and how that actually can go through a psyche. But as time goes on, we see more and more of these disgusting acts. I don't know best what's behind it all because it's all a bit mad. But yeah, it's ill. I don't think things are going to get any better. I think we're going to continue seeing worse and worse atrocious acts. Yeah. More and more. I hate to say.
Based on what you were saying about the firearms being so normal there, I remember I was listening to a podcast recently, and it was like a podcast of two guys, and and they're both like so like normal, non-violent, and regular people anyway. And then the one of the guys is like 50 years old, and he was just they were in passing conversation. He was mentioning that like, if someone broke into my house, the first thing I'll do is like grab the gun from my drawer, like my bedside table. I was thinking like it's so normal for them to like just have that conversation. Like it's a normal thing to have a gun in your bedside table, and he is not the type of person who you'd imagine to have a gun. Do you know what I mean? But it's just like a normal thing. You just own a gun. You have a gun.
It's normal, isn't it?
Yeah. Funny, interesting.
Next one.
Yeah.
France, in Francais, there was a study of 105 people. I think it was done by the government. As we already know, like processed foods are, leading causes towards cancer. But they've managed to zero down on more specific things, and I kind of wanted to talk about it.
Yeah, like what?
Okay, so the list that they put out are basically super processed foods, which are mass-produced packets of bread.
Really?
So King's Mill, whatever we have, Hovis and all of this.
Is that processed? Is that?
Yeah, I think it would be to a certain standard, for sure.
I mean, I'm sure it is. I just don't know. I don't know the definition of processed. Like whenever anyone says processed food, the first thing that comes to my head is a chicken steak burger.
Because the definition of processed is to have a high constituents of oils, fats, and sugars.
Okay. That's interesting.
So those kind of, because those things are that add to the longevity of the product.
The product.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you got
white bread is terrible. I even said to my missus the other day, "Go and get some white bread." I was like, "Do you know how bad it?" I don't really have the huge knowledge in it. Bo Aziz was breaking it down.
I can't wait to have him back.
I know, inshallah. The amount of stuff in that one piece of bread that it seems like a very innocent thing. It's a piece of bread, but it's so bad for you. It's scary. It's so scary.
Wow.
Yeah. And biscuits. I wanted to say biscuits.
Yeah, biscuits are awful for you.
We've been living off of it for the last couple of days, man.
Oh, I'm not even. Yeah.
I literally haven't had biscuits and like fizzy drinks in a long time.
Yeah,
in a long time, and I feel like good just from staying off of those two things. And but anyway, the other ones are. So sweet or savory packaged snacks, including crisps, chocolate bars and sweets, sodas and sweetened drinks, meatballs, poultry or fish nuggets. Nuggets are very bad.
Okay, because they're processed, aren't they?
Nuggets. Yeah. Instant noodles and soups.
Really?
Yeah, so pot noodles out the window, basically.
You like pot noodle, don't you?
I love pot noodle.
Did I see something recently having a pot noodle?
Maybe. I've only recently discovered like...
No, he had a recent different brand of...
Recently, so...
like noodles?
Yeah, well, like...
You dip something into it?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not normally instant noodle person in terms of like pot noodle stuff. I can't remember if I've ever had pot noodle before 2 weeks ago.
But what did you have recently?
I went to Sainsbury's and I went to the pot noodle section because for some reason I was craving it, even though I don't think I've ever had it, or maybe I've had it once in my life.
Yeah.
And next to pot noodles was this thing called Bang Bang Noodle, and I got it and it was quite nice. I'm actually now that
we're talking about in it as well.
Yeah. Chicken.
I'm going from a video that you posted on social media. So you're acting like a. What was it? You had a chicken?
I got some chicken.
Yeah, halal chicken. You're dipping into the noodles.
Bang Bang noodles. No, pot noodles. Yeah.
Pot noodles.
Yeah, I
promoted it.
Now I'm gonna get that today.
Did Sunnah Remedies not inbox you?
Yeah, bro. Every time I eat anything bad, he inboxes me. And he's like, sorry, bro. He inboxes me and he's like, bro, no, don't do it.
The last one is like frozen and shelf-ready meals, which is something that a lot of us have.
Frozen and shelf.
It's kind of weird because it's such everyday, like it's everyday things. You know? But it's like it's evident because like the rise in cancer is like quite It's quite prominent, man. And it's like, it's one of the things that we can control as well. After obesity, which is one of the like easiest things to control, it's smoking. And then after that is this kind of stuff. So, yeah, man. That's health done.
What we got next?
Last one is basically there was a sculpture of a 4 billion year old meteorite, which landed on Earth 50,000 years ago, that got sold for a record price of £170,000 recently.
Hold on, it was a sculpture of a meteor. So that's it's not an actual meteor; it's a sculpture.
It's basically it's like a imagine a square piece of rock.
Yeah.
With the mold of the meteor hitting it.
Yeah.
And it was the meteor itself was 4 billion years old from space.
And how big is this sculpture?
I'm guessing it's just like a stone slab of.
Okay.
And
it's worth £170,000.
Yeah.
Nice bit of wood.
Yeah.
How much?
£170,000.
So waste of money.
170 bags.
It's a waste of
Get
money.
yourself a holiday to Bali.
Range Rover.
A Range Rover.
And a new yard for you and your missus and a coffee machine.
A new yard and a coffee machine.
Spend your money wisely.
Or a sculpture of a meteor.
Or you could book Hajj
You could book Hajj.
a couple of times and for your friends.
That's very true.
Yeah. Hajj and Umrah.
You
I
do
promote
Hajj
people
and-
booking Hajj and Umrah. Inshallah, I want to go to Umrah very, very soon.
So
Again.
do I, inshallah.
Inshallah. Trust me. Spiritual journey. Invest your money into Hajj and Umrah.
Yes.
Inshallah. Yeah, but yeah, that's the
That's the end of current events.
end of current events.
Current events. That's just a stretch.
That feels good, doesn't it?
Oh, it feels really good.
Spin round and I'll stretch you out. Spin that way.
How do you? No, don't hurt me though, bro. You're 6'6". I'm 5'8" with shoes.
Oh, she is. Oh, you haven't trained for a minute, have you?
No, I haven't. I'm
feel good or
stiff. It does actually feel good, yeah.
There you go.
Thanks, bro. Bro, I went to gym yesterday for the first time in a week. Yeah.
What did you train?
I'm really.
Shoulders?
I trained shoulders, and I've lost a lot of strength, man.
Have you?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you're easily coming back, didn't it?
Inshallah. Have you noticed something different about me, Sam?
Glasses.
Yeah.
They really suit you, man.
Do they?
Really
Do you like
suit you.
them?
Yeah, really
Yeah,
suit
got
you.
new glasses, got new specs. Remember?
Yeah.
Do you remember my other ones were broken?
Yeah,
Yeah, got new ones.
really suit you.
Like them, yeah.
Ooh.
So they like my other ones,
Posh.
but circular instead of
Oh, they're
square.
beautiful.
Suit you, bro.
Do they?
Yeah, you look very smart.
I like them.
Maybe
I
I'm
like
wearing a
'em.
shirt.
So
Maybe you should both just wear specs for the next.
Oh, look at that.
yeah, I clocked that.
I bet you did.
Alhamdulillah.
Yeah.
Oh, you not seen that yet today?
I didn't realise it was as big and red as that, and there's direct in the middle of my face, head.
Alhamdulillah.
Yeah.
Why is it that you have a spot on your head? Did you? Could it be?
I'm gonna put that down to
Diet?
I don't know. No, diet's been good. I'm not sure.
So Sam, because you are in the best shape that I've seen you in yet, after having known you for a year and 3 months.
Yep.
What have you done differently in the last 2 weeks that I haven't?
I wouldn't say it's the last 2 weeks, since the beginning of January, and it wasn't a New Year's resolution, but I use that as a marking point. I've been training a lot and eating very well as I can be. So just my diet has been really, really clean.
How many times you hit in the gym in a week?
4 or 5.
That is solid, man. That is solid, mate.
Yeah, so usually when I train, I really concentrate on cardio, and I'm still doing cardio, but I'm more focusing on other things, and the weight's just kind of dropped off me because of my diet's just been really clean.
And have you been?
Plant-based.
You must be missing. So you must be taking time out of somewhere to get that gym time.
So difficult to train.
Man, you're
'cause
telling me.
Yeah, but it's it's 2 hours and you need in the gym.
100%.
You need that, even if it's an hour and a half. It's more than an hour.
100%.
Um,
Travel time there, travel time back. If you shower at the gym or not,
Yeah, just have that solid time. You want to do a little bit of warm up and a little bit of cardio, and then and obviously you're training with people. You don't want to rush it. You want to enjoy it as well.
You have to enjoy it.
It's really tough, and I'm really appreciative of my wife because what I try and do is I try and get back. As long as I get back home to Bath Zayden, get him into bed, so I've done my bit there. Then I'll train after that.
Oh, you do it after, not before? Okay.
No, not before. Generally not before. If I'm training,
It is hard on our wives. I'm saying we're professional gym bodybuilders here, but it is true because gym does take a lot of time.
it's a big time, yeah, especially when you've got lots of other things. But for me, I've just so far this year, I've just want to either, if I'm not with my family, if I'm not in the gym, if I'm not worshipping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I'm not really that happy.
You ain't got time for it.
I want to be just self-developing on all these levels, in the sense that I want to spend time with my family because it's so rewarding doing that. I want to be training in the sense that I want to be trying to get in better shape. I want to be working, which is obviously is nothing but goodness. And if I haven't really had much time to do, I don't really allow myself to have much time to do anything else. Like I used to sometimes I'll roll into London and do a bit of shopping and things like that just to kind of kill time. But I've lost the want to even do that. Just like trying to like really like my time is very, very precious. Like so far this year, I've got so much on. It's just about balance and delegation. What's important. So really, all I want to be doing is like those three things. I haven't really got time for like too much social stuff. Having a child is a busy enough job anyway.
Yeah.
Let alone etc. all my other stuff. So yeah, man, feeling great, bruv. Alhamdulillah.
Feeling great, looking great. 3 coffees down today already.
Yeah. Probably have a few more.
Loving that.
Opening a new shop next week, inshallah.
Edinburgh. Inshallah.
on
I saw
Tuesday.
that.
Yeah.
Allahumma barik. Wait, so you got in there?
Yes, of course.
To Edinburgh?
Yeah, don't worry, I'll be back for Thursday. That's what you're thinking.
Yeah, you
about.
better. No, I wasn't thinking that.
Yeah, so yeah,
Oh,
inshallah.
sick.
Man.
Allahumma barik. That's it. Well, you just opened them up left, right, centre.
Trying to, bro.
Allahumma barik lahu.
Dan's going back out to Dubai this week.
You going with?
No.
Was that the plan though? Was that twinkle in your eye a bit? Like you considered it?
Strange enough, the unit that we found. Remember the last day we were in Dubai when I went off for that day and I said there's an amazing unit. Inshallah, is going to sign.
Inshallah.
Inshallah, bro.
Wow, bro, things looking up. Inshallah.
Yeah, I want to spend some time in Dubai, man. Dubai is fantastic.
Let's
For Deen, for dunya.
maybe. I'm gonna do something crazy and invite myself on your journey, but maybe we could go over there again.
Yeah, inshallah. For sure.
Wait, tell me a bit more about the Deen in Dubai. Like, what?
Tell him, Sam.
Because
Deen is strong in Dubai.
really,
Yeah, man.
Surprisingly.
There's a massive, like, well, no, it shouldn't be surprisingly because at the end of the day, it's Muslim land.
No,
yeah.
but because of the stereotype that
The
Dubai has got
stereotype,
now.
yeah, and everyone says it's not, but it's. I promise you, like, from my experience, obviously everyone has a different experience, but firstly, there's masjids everywhere.
Yes.
Beautiful masjids everywhere.
There's
the call
the
to
best.
There's the call to prayer 5 times a day. Yeah. So when you've got that somewhere, that's for me. That's better than being in England where you don't hear the azan anywhere. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Not only that, there's people of knowledge there.
Mm-hmm.
There's brothers like Tim Humble who has decided to live out there with his family. So I think that speaks volume anyway. Yes, there's like anywhere there's good parts and bad parts, but definitely the good outweighs the bad over there. It's a Muslim country. There's most of the women over there are covered up. Most of the men, not that this makes you pious, but are in throbes, and it has a very Islamic appearance anyway. And then there's just masjids everywhere, and they're they're beautiful masjids, bruv. And do you know what? They were busy masjids. Everyone we went to, there's the Fajr Salah. There was rows upon rows of people. Do you know what I mean? For every Maghrib Salah, there's rows upon rows.
And isn't it true, Sam, that it is really dependent upon where you go?
Of course, but then that goes anywhere in the world. Exactly. You can go somewhere. And yes, there is a lot of Western influence, and yes, there's a lot of haram that goes on. But do you know what? Most places in the world that exists. So I would say Dubai, out of a lot of Muslim countries I've been to, is probably a very easy place to practice your religion, and it's probably a very good place for yourself to do very well in a dunya aspect as well, because there's a lot of opportunities for lots of different people doing lots of different things.
Oh, I'm missing it now that we're talking about it.
It's a good place.
The last time I went when I was about 17, 18, so maybe I saw it in a different light then. And
for sure, man. It goes so far. That was like 7 years ago, isn't it?
Yeah,
but I can imagine if I went there on a I wouldn't say what we went on was a holiday. We went on a travel in the sense that we stayed in the suburbs. Alhamdulillah, we stayed with a practicing brother, so we knew that where the local masjid was almost straight away. That's the first thing we did when we got to the area is prayed Fajr. Remember So there's masjid around the corner for him, and everywhere around there wasn't much dunya stuff going on. There wasn't big skyscrapers and stuff. It was very much suburbs. Sure. So that was all. And then when we went into the city, I can imagine actually if I went on holiday there and went to a hotel and it was right in the core of like maybe it was from the Palm or somewhere, maybe I would struggle to see the Deen aspect of it, because it's not created there. The Palm and the most tourist areas isn't created necessarily for Muslims.
Right.
It's for Western tourists and that. So I can imagine you could go there and have an experience and not see much Deen. From our experience, where we had someone who was driving us around, showing us around, I see loads of masjids. The hotels had masjids in them. Everyone who works in there's obviously a lot of them are Muslim, so I can imagine you going there on holiday and maybe not seeing a huge amount of deen.
Possibly.
But again, with anything, you have to look for deen in the
Sure.
sense that it's not in your face.
Yeah.
You can hear the call to prayer, but to find people of knowledge and this kind of stuff, they're not standing on the roadside. You have to look for deen. But there's so much amazing deen that goes on there, and very respected speakers go there and talk good of it as well. So from my understanding and experience, there's definitely a good place for deen.
I kind of want to go back and see it in a different light now. But I did go at a stage in my life where I wasn't as practicing, so probably didn't look for it as you.
You do have to look for
Yeah,
it. You come to London, like there's so much. There's people of knowledge in London. There's so much like good stuff going on in London, but you're not gonna stumble upon it like by accident, are you?
Yeah,
Do you know
it kind of deterred me from like wanting to live there as well, because I actually had the plans to like move there and work with my uncle who works for Emirates, but like having my memory of Dubai, I was like, no, I didn't want to raise my family there.
I wish we went to Abu Dhabi.
So do I. Well, so the thing with Dubai, as Sam is saying, is like you have to look for it, and because when we went out to Dubai, Sam and I, it was such an iman boosting trip for both of us, wasn't it, Sam? And it just felt amazing.
Yeah.
And then the second time I went, because I went then again about two or 3 weeks later, I went back, but on business for flavour and a slight holiday as well, because I took my missus out there with me, and so it was like half business holiday, and that trip felt like a really iman, like the opposite of an iman boost, because I was staying like in such a choicey area, and it was just like, it wasn't like, you know how like we was hitting a masjid for every single salah pretty much at the time before stuff. It wasn't like that, and it was actually quite like not good for my deen. And so you have to make sure you make time for like if you're going to Dubai and you're staying in the most touristy area and there's no masajid like right next to you, and like you're not spending a lot of time like trying to put focus on deen, then it's not going to be you're not going to go there and be like, oh, my iman was boosted. But if you go there and you actively have to spend time, you have to go to the masjid, you have to actively step out of the tourist area and go to the suburbs, and there's English classes and that kind of stuff, then it will be a big iman booster. But although
you have to be active, mate. You have to be, but that's the deen. You have to be active. That's the same. I've been to Morocco, many times, and been to masjids and stuff there, and you feel it. And there's other times when I haven't had as many opportunities to go to masjids and stuff, and it's the same thing. You have to make the effort. Do you when Friday comes, do you make the effort to go and find a masjid to go and do Jummah in? Because you don't have to, but do you these kind of things? If you make the effort, guess what? Your iman raises.
Yes, it does. Sah.
Yep.
And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, you've been listening to Freshly Grounded episode 46. Sam, it was amazing to have you back and have me back. Well, it is your podcast, so thank you for having me back.
Thank you for letting me into your office.
It's not my office, so.
Talking to Red.
It's not mine either, but okay.
Guys, this was Freshly Grounded episode 46. Inshallah, I hope you enjoyed it. We'll be back next week, inshallah. And also, we've got some exciting stuff coming up for Freshly Grounded, inshallah. We have got, inshallah, in the next very, very short future, before Ramadan, we should be doing an episode, inshallah, in Dublin.
Yes.
And inshallah, an episode in...
Centre Parks.
No, the Gambia.
Of course.
What's Sam?
Yeah, inshallah.
Inshallah. So, a lot of exciting stuff coming up. Episode 50 is around the corner. Look after us, guys. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
Peace.